Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Church of Soros, otherwise known as Kristi and Kev's Happy Hour.
Yes.
I am Kev, obviously, and joining me, as ever, my co-host, frankly, my favourite of the woke skull femoids, Dr. Kristi Winters.
All hail Soros.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Hey, Kev, how you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Likewise.
Good.
So, with that out of the way. Happy Juneteenth.
Does that count as small talk?
I think so.
Is that chit chat?
Mm-hmm. That's what we're supposed to do in these talk shows, right? Do a bit of chit chat in the beginning. Very formulaic.
Tell me about your latest film.
Well,
anyway,
I'm actually...
Yes, Juneteenth. Tell me about Juneteenth, Kristi.
Well, I'm going to show it on the screen. You won't be able to see it because you have to look at the bookmarks. But yeah, today is Juneteenth, June 19th. It's also known as Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, Liberation Day, and Emancipation Day. So the story behind this is that it commemorates the Union Army General Gordon Granger announcing federal orders in Galveston, Texas on June 19th, 1865, that all people held as slaves in Texas were free. So that sounds like a good story. But actually, white people managed to fuck this up. So, the
you surprised me, Kristi.
The Emancipation Proclamation outlawed slavery in Texas and the other states. And then the defeat of this Confederate States Army happened in 1865. But Texas was quite remote in terms of the slave states, and it had a low presence of Union troops. So they just kind of didn't end slavery for 2 months or something. And then finally the Union Army came in and made the announcement, and people realized that they were free, and they had a massive celebration, as opposed to being, I guess they should have been really pissed off. I would have been pissed off. But and then the year after, on the same day, the people of Galveston came together in order to commemorate and celebrate the 1-year anniversary. And from that came out the celebration Juneteenth, which is known in the African American community and in the Black community, but white people, it's kind of spotty on Juneteenth. Other communities of color too, probably. I don't really know the knowledge levels, but I know white people don't know much about it. Yeah, Kevin.
Well, I'd never heard of it.
Oh, till when? This year?
Yeah, I'd never. Well, until a couple of days ago, until we talked about it on, was it the last show or the show before that?
Mm-hmm.
I'd never heard that phrase before. I was aware of the end of American slavery, but I wasn't aware that it was a specific day celebrated or anything.
I have to say,
I think goes to show how little it gets publicized.
Yeah, well, I mean, I study American politics and actually did American history. I did a minor in history in my undergraduate, and I had heard the word Juneteenth, and I knew it was linked to, the Emancipation Proclamation and the announcement. But in terms of the real history of it and all the details, I didn't know this either. But this year, Juneteenth has taken on a real different importance and significance for, I think, a lot of Americans far outside of the Black community and the African American community. So, yeah, we wanted to just keep in that. Yeah. So I asked Kevin, if we're doing a show on Juneteenth, the first thing we should do is acknowledge Juneteenth. Yeah. Indeed, but also I think worth pointing out, just for historical curiosity, I suppose. It never ceases to surprise me how, not surprise me, but that's not the right word at all. That America took the most bloody war in its history to get to the same place that most people just went, should we maybe not own human beings as property anymore? Yeah, but how many European states actually had slaves? Wasn't slavery definitely a New World sort of phenomenon? So, it's if you're the middle person, if you don't actually have to deal with the lived experience of it, because I think that creates a real, it draws on white supremacy, because white people who weren't enslaving people or owning people still bought into the rhetoric and the fear that the masters and the slave owners put out there under the using white supremacy as the vehicle. Do you think? So you're saying black people were the problem? No, God.
The fact that black people were there was the problem. Kristi, I thought you were far better than this. That's poor form.
The silence was you. How do I
So
spin this?
I did a really stupid thing. I said a really silly thing, Kristi. Aren't I clever?
Yes, you inverted the paradigm.
Indeed I did.
Yes.
But anyway, yes. So happy freedom to the black people in America.
I have to say, I don't know the history of other, like, it's slavery in the Caribbean islands, obviously, because it was part of the slave trade. But in other parts of, like, Central and South America, I have to just admit my total ignorance on what the status of that was in those countries. Yeah. Well, moving on.
Well, yeah. I can't tell you all very specifically, but I mean, I know one little, again, historical curiosity. People often tend to focus, and I think quite rightly, on, say, like British slavery and French slavery and stuff like that. But actually, the largest European power in terms of the number of slaves they took was actually Portugal.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Dutch. Portuguese.
No, the Portuguese took nearly 1 million more than their nearest competitor, which I think was France.
God.
And again, competitor sounds very sort of out of order, really, but hopefully you understand where I'm coming from there. Mm-hmm. They took them to the Portuguese colony, which is now essentially Brazil. And that's why you've got a significantly larger than average for South and Central America black population in Brazil.
Yes, Benjamin in the chat is just saying Brazil was actually the last country to abolish slavery. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Although, again, another interesting little curiosity involving slavery. In what was British Guiana, which is now just Guyana, the country on the South American mainland, there are a lot of Indian-sounding names. You get cricketers like Shivnarine Chanderpaul and Ramnaresh Sarwan, names like that, because there were a huge number of people from India, which was a British colony, the British Indian Raj, taken through the new Panama Canal into what is Guyana to work on rubber plantations. And there's still, therefore, a significant Indian population in South America, which seems strange. But that's what happens when you just, uproot millions of people and take them to places.
Yeah, when you just think you own land and people and you just go, we'll move these around. We'll just shuffle these things. Yeah.
Exactly, like human dominoes, but disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So...
And there you go. Got quite a few historical... Yeah, I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, related stuff.
Yeah.
Shall I? Am I going first? Okay.
Yes.
Present. I'll present my entire screen. Fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah, because you don't have to worry about sound.
I don't, because fuck videos. So, can we see this?
Well, it's calling it up now. It says presentation, Kevin Logan, and now I can see the screen. Yes.
Can you see that Tottenham have taken the lead against Manchester United?
I have, yes, and Southampton is just knocking the shit out of Norwich City.
Well, that's a final result. You damn well know, Kristi.
Oh, yes, there it is, final. Yes. Sue won.
Anyway, so they did. The Sioux won on this occasion. Again, talking about North America, that's not a phrase that gets used historically, but there we go. Anyway, yes, so I thought I'd kick off with a cog one just because this was funny. A funny misspelling, which reveals something, I suppose. Justin Gray, don't know who that was. Doesn't really matter. Says, just told the head of the Atlanta Police Department that 19 Atlanta police officers resigned over the weekend. Moral is at an all-time low. That is literally true. But as Cog points out, I know you meant morale, but that's just too perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Fair enough. And we'll get on to, I'm sure, the mass sick-in that happened in Atlanta over the last few days.
Yeah, I mean, we can actually... Can we just go over that story now? Because initially, the reports were that like all of the precincts were empty. Like, everyone had just mass quit. And I quote tweeted that with, are the police defunding themselves? But then it turned out they were just calling in sick.
People who were saying we should disband the police. Yeah. Well, it would be interesting to see if crime statistics were affected when the police weren't there. Because if they weren't, they're making a very strong argument that we don't really need them, I suppose. They're not backing themselves up there, But anyway.
And I agree, Flint. This time we didn't have to look at Kevin's huge cock and balls. now that we're doing Google Meet.
Well, indeed. Although, to be fair, huge is not usually a word used in conjunction with that. But thank you anyway. That's very flattering. Anyway, from one prick to another, this piece of garbage, Munira Mazia, or Mirza even, apologies. In the wake of things happening in America, the BLM movement has swept across the world, and a lot of people in a lot of countries that you might not necessarily expect, although Britain, I'm sure, is one nation you might expect, given slavery and whatnot, race issues have come to the fore, and governments are deciding to maybe at the very least by setting up these kinds of things. In Britain, we're setting up the UK Race Inequality Commission. Now, that on the face of it might seem quite nice, but it's being headed up by this person called Munir Mirza, who has already literally said that people who complain about race are part of a culture of grievance.
Great.
And has denied the existence of institutional racism. Boris Johnson's literally just spitting in black people's faces.
Yeah,
that's what's happening here.
If you want to do nothing, set up a commission to study it, because it's going to take them 2.5 years to do anything. Then they're going to write a report that no one's going to read, and by that point, people's attention will be on something completely different. This is what you do when you don't want to do anything.
Even the setting up of it, though, it's obviously going to come back. No, racism is not a problem because she's being set up by this fucking person. I mean, ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I thought I'd just bring that to you. Britain's really racist. Yay.
Yep.
Ariella Scarcella, we've talked about her before, quote unquote, left the left. Didn't take her long to go from the left are crazy to Pizzagate's real.
Oh, great. Wow, jumping in with both feet.
Yeah, she's now doing QAnon Pizzagate stuff. Which, I mean,
how very 2016. Yeah.
Yeah. Pizzagate, mind blown. Well, you'd have to have a mind first, I think. Anyway, so enough of that turf piece of garbage. Moving on. Ron Perlman, again, fresh off his feasts of Ted Cruz and Matt Gaetz and the other one whose name I've totally forgotten, Jim Jordan. Says Breonna's law unanimously, but John Mattingly, Miles Cosgrove and Brett Hankinson are still walking free. While passing the law is great, a murderer is still a murderer.
Yep.
Yeah, those are the three people who murdered Breonna, just in case anyone was wondering. But that will crop back up in a second. This... God almighty. People voting against their own best interests, never surprising. Healthcare is a human right. This is according to Woman's Place UK, who have, supported various right-wing shittery. Healthcare is a human right. Quote, the Trump administration rollback of anti-discrimination protections in healthcare is a victory for the religious right and a threat to a woman's abortion rights. And Caitlin Burgess writes, never have I ever perfect leopards eating faces party tweet.
Yeah, I don't know who a Woman's Place UK is, so maybe I'm missing part of the context. Yep, can you hear me?
They've propped up all kinds of right-wing.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know their political history.
Yeah. This was quite nice. Renfamous, who I've been on the channel, a fantastic anti-Comicsgate person, really nice person. Anyway, took the tweet we talked about before with Ted Cruz offering someone else out on someone else's behalf. Very strange. Just says, hey, fucker, more than 1 million of your constituents have lost their jobs in the last 3 months. How about you take your Twitter pissing match money and give it to the unemployed Texans so they can pay their fucking rent? Marie Antoinette ass cockwomble.
Yes. Good point.
Not messing around. Not messing around. Where are we? James Wood, actor and fully paid up cunt. James Woods. Simple fact, you will never see a Republican doing this. Not one. To its Mr. O. quite rightly points out, one Republican drove 8 hours to El Paso to murder 23 people.
Yeah. Yep.
Cold. That is cold. What's this one? Oh, yeah, some of the phrasing you see on Twitter, and this website's free. Amazing. I'm a white woman of colour. I'll repeat that. I'm a white woman of colour and a Democrat. I can't be racist. And no, it's an election. You're splitting the vote like Jill Svetlana Stein. Okay. Just excuse me, what the fuck is about? I think that's the correct answer, correct question to ask.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's befuddling.
It is. Yelling and screaming for trans rights. That is a good cat. That is good catting.
Yes.
And cute.
It's adorable.
What's this? An update. They let me out, but it was cold, so I sat in the door and screamed until they let me back in. Target. That's just a cat thing. I don't know why I'd say that. It's just a cute cat thing. Anyway. New Zealand is no longer coronavirus free after travelling Brits test positive.
Great.
Yeah, the Brits are a liability to humanity. We really are. We have been for centuries. Fucking hell.
And spreading your diseases everywhere. Stay back when you're a country where you belong.
Yep. We're doing it to white people.
Yeah.
It's not just fucking smallpox blankets. We're doing it to white folk. Good Lord. Things have gotten crazy. That's a joke at our expense, hopefully.
Yes.
People understand.
Yeah.
Again, the ups and downs here, people. We're going from what's slightly funny to horrific. Poverty should be a human rights violation. There shouldn't be anyone living in poverty in America. We have plenty of space and resources for everyone. That shouldn't be like a controversial thing to say.
Yeah, Ashley's
that really
right.
shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's never. I mean, not just in America, but in the world.
Yeah.
Why are the people starving to death? The fuck? We grow more than enough food. Anyway. Yeah, anti-social media, fantastic occasional YouTuber. Go and subscribe to them. Is there any greater example of snowflakery than boycotting an entire sport because asked silently protest? Who could guess that knees would be the ultimate conservative trigger?
That's very funny.
Good point.
Mm-hmm. Underrated tweet.
This is nice. This was bookmarked before development, which you might be able to tell from the fact that the
Yes.
tweet from Katie is no longer present. We'll get onto it shortly. But there was a whole story, which I'll get into in a second, involving a guy called Marcus Rashford. Anyway, this says, "Dear Katie Hopkins, fuck off. Thank you, Marcus Rashford."
You want to say who Marcus is? You going to talk about that?
Well, I will in a second, because the story comes up again. Okay. Tim Pool again. This Tim Pool's stupidity never ceases to amaze me. The fact that Dick Coughlan doesn't think this guy's a grifter is phenomenal. Based on the argument from SCOTUS, that's the Supreme Court of the United States, if a person bronzed their skin and wore a wig, them, it's racial discrimination because it's only offensive to you based on the race of the person doing it. Did SCOTUS just legally protect blackface?
I don't know how it's possible to be that. Is he being dumb on purpose? Like
I can only imagine he must be. Yeah,
because that honestly,
there's no part of them defending LGBTQ working rights that could lead you to that conclusion.
No. And even if you want to talk about just generally the Civil Rights Act in terms of protection from discrimination based on race, ethnic origin, disability, sex, the whole list of things. If I hate to be this crude. If I sat down in a wheelchair and I just used a wheelchair, that doesn't actually mean I have a disability. So he's basically like that. You're not actually in the protected group. Putting bronzer on your face doesn't make you a member of a protected class, you numpty. If I, oh God.
Yeah, he's full of shit.
I can't believe people pay him money for his opinion.
Yeah. Right, so again, it just says, so we did have money for free meals for poor children. They just didn't want to spend it, did they? related to this story.
Yes.
He scores. Boris Johnson provides free school meals voucher in major U-turn after Marcus Rashford campaign. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, who the hell is Marcus Rashford, Kevin?
He keeps coming
up. To which
up.
I would say, you need to get into Premier League football, please, for God's sake. He is a professional sportsman. He plays football, or soccer, if you insist, for the team that you can see on the right, currently losing 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. He plays for Manchester United and England. He's very successful and very good. And from a poor single parent, which will become relevant in a second if I've bookmarked the tweet I think I've bookmarked. A single parent household, grew up in a certain amount of poverty. And so he's using some very LeBron James, although he's not anywhere near as good as LeBron James, but anyway, using some of his clout and finances to try and give back to communities he came from, to start a kind of positive circle of empowerment and enrichment, hopefully. Anyway, by funding out of his own pocket for tens of thousands of kids to have to be fed, because Britain's such a backward fucking place that we've got children going hungry, even though we're the 5th richest nation in the fucking world. That's depressing. Anyway, so he did that. He then wrote a letter and part of a kind of publicity campaign to try and force the government to backtrack on their plans to get rid of free school meals, which in some cases, in some very poor households, is the only fucking meal they get every day, basically. They don't really get fed at home. It's horrific, but it's true. And the Boris Johnson, to try and save a tiny amount of that rich people don't have to pay tax, was trying to take that away. Marcus Rashford, using his social political clout, wrote a letter to them and shamed them into having to reverse that decision. So amazing. Marcus Rashford is a fucking legend.
Yeah, agreed. By the way, Blue Jay Rhodes.
We'll go on to.
Yeah, sorry, Blue Jay Rhodes in the chat, just on the Tim Pool thing, says, Kristi, that's the argument, that trans people are just pretending to be their gender. Blue Jay Rhodes, sorry, when you said that, then it suddenly became clear. Like, oh, he's a raging transphobe, right? Just because, the Supreme Court has stated trans women are women, trans men are men, non-binary people are themselves. And people like with Plessy v. Ferguson, the Brown versus Board versus Education, he's, stuck in the past. He's just a raging transphobe. Got it. Sorry, I just wanted to...
Yeah. No, he's in the centre, Kristi. He's in the new radical centre.
By voting for Trump. My.
Indeed. Just to show you again, another example of why, again, I don't think the word of police officers should be privileged in courtrooms now. They've shown themselves consistently to be lying bastards and need to be taken on a word versus word basis.
On body cam?
Their word means shit.
Body cams. Fuck that, body cams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And turning them off is destruction of evidence.
Yeah. Here's Sean Hannity pushing the NYPD got poisoned hoax hours after the NYPD admitted it never happened.
He's such a...
Yeah, so the NYPD, the New York Police Department, lied about having some of their officers go into some sort of fast food establishment.
Shake Shack, I think it was.
Shake Shack, I believe, yes. Which is, I believe, nothing to do with Shaquille O'Neal, which is good. And apparently they claim to have been poisoned. A lot of bollocks. Total liars. They're so to play the victim, even though they're consistently murderers. Not necessarily the individual officers involved there, but you get the idea. Anyway, so that's... And Sean Hannity is not a journalist. Moving on.
No, I've got stuff on that.
Unless you have anything to say.
I've got stuff on Sean Hannity not being a journalist. I have stuff on that. We'll get to mine.
Well, stay tuned for that, everybody. Mm-hmm. Stay fucking tuned. Conservative Christians see seismic implications in Supreme Court ruling. Nothing distills the conservative Christian point of view better than this quote. By giving equal rights to others, somehow it harms them. The narcissism, the homophobia, the inhumanity, the white supremacy, and the utter hubris shows us the worst of organised religion and mankind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah. Boom, boom. Another prick bites the dust. The Columbus statue is coming down in Tower Grove Park, which I believe is in America somewhere. I can't. What state is it? It doesn't even fucking say. Anyway, yeah, there. St. Louis. So,
Missouri. Wow. Missouri even, or Missouri,
Yeah.
if you don't know
Missouri.
what an I sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. They're wrong. They're just wrong. Yeah. This is amazing. Yeah. Trump on coronavirus. If we stop testing right now, we'd have very few cases, if any. And I won't say the word, but it just says, this person said, if you close your eyes, it isn't there.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
true.
much.
That's true. You know, if you stop testing for cancer, cancer disappears too.
Yeah, the very few cases that you
he's
can
a
find.
revolutionary. When it comes to medical practice, he's a revolutionary, Krista. Or a fucking
quack.
idiot.
Or a
One
quack.
Of the two.
Yeah, quack, quack.
This just... Or a quack, yeah. This is how you put down a misogynist. This person says, what pub? I would love to meet for Carling is a type of beer. I'd love a beer with you. You buying? And this person just writes, I'd rather have my period in a Shark Tank. Ooh,
that's
ouch.
Great.
She did it nasty. Oh. Anyway. Antifa used a $20 bill and some fishing line to take me in a revolving door. Trap me in a revolving door. I can confirm, as the CEO of Antifa, I can confirm that is a thing we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get bonus points for that.
You do. Exactly. You get Soros points.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a loyalty card system. It's fantastic. Yeah, so this is the same story again. Boris Johnson has asked Mania Mirza to set up the Commission on Racial Inequality. Here's some of her fun work. These are all literally titles of articles she has written. Land Review, The Myth of Institutional Racism. The press should be free to ridicule Islam, which I suppose is true to a degree, but you get where she's coming from there. Mm-hmm. Diversity is divisive, which is interesting as a brown person living in a majority white country, Miss Mirza, just saying. And stop pandering to Muslims. Yeah, again, just spitting in the face of the people here from Boris Johnson. For some reason, I've bookmarked that twice. Okay.
Yeah, so it was important.
It was doubly important. This is how unabashedly brilliant Marcus Rashford is, and how much he's universally loved. Just to explain, Manchester United is a football club, and Liverpool are another football club. These two clubs despise one another. Man United put out a tweet saying, a hero and inspiration, one of our own, we're so proud of Marcus Rashford. Understandable, he plays for that club.
Yep.
Liverpool's children in our region will benefit because of the ACT role model from Liverpool with Love, about a player who plays for a club they despise. And I mean, it is nasty hate in many respects.
Bringing people together to help kids.
Yeah, he's united a nation behind him being awesome, which is difficult to do.
And two rival football clubs, which is even harder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is an interesting one. The right wing are so desperate to pretend to be defending statues that they went out into a town called Nuneaton, which is a little town in the middle of nowhere, to defend a statue of George Eliot, which no one had asked to be removed. Literally, no human being had ever been like, "Can you take that statue down?" But they turned up this cunt as well in a fucking hat with a military hat on for some reason, even though he's wearing jeans. Like, what's going on there? I know. And I look at the police. Look, even this copper is laughing. Love it. Anyway, just dopey pricks. I bookmarked that twice as well. Jesus, I'm on a spree here. This literally happened after the last show. Someone tweeted me this article from the New York Post. Now, think about this. This person is a sexual predator or a serial sexual assaulter and rapist. And for some reason, the New York Post thought it was an okay thing to write an article called Harvey Weinstein's Deformed Penis Explained.
What? What is
Harvey
going on?
Weinstein's Deformed Penis Explained. I just wrote, I don't even know where to start. What the actual shit is this nonsense?
Yeah. Who needed that headline? Nobody.
No one. I don't know where to begin with how shoddy that kind of quote-unquote journalism is.
Yeah.
Why would you ever write that?
Yeah, that's just, there's so many other things to be talking about right now. Nobody gives a crap. Move on.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
nice.
Blue Jay Rhodes wants to know who George... Blue Jay Rhodes wants to know who George Eliot is. It's an author, right?
Yeah, a British author. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So I mean, but it doesn't matter. The point is, no one had asked for that statue to be taken down. Is the basic point.
Just a random white guy.
Yeah, just a white man. Anyway, talking of random white people who no one cares about, Katie Hopkins. We'll get on to her being removed from Twitter in a bit, but before she was, again, just showing how amazing Marcus Rashford is and how universally despised Katie Hopkins is. Someone said that this is Marcus Rashford playing for Man United, and that's, I don't know who the player is behind that, one of the white players, clearly, unsurprisingly, and she's photoshopped her head onto it. I look hot in blue. Just saying, hashtag feed the kid, like Marcus Rashford. Trying to jump on the back of a black man's work there. Interesting stuff. But the really funny bit of that is, again, another club that don't like Manchester United and they don't, and the feeling is mutual, is Manchester City, their local city rivals. Again, despise one another. And Man City responded to Katie Hopkins with saying, not in our blue, just saying. So even they don't want anything to do with Katie Hopkins and put hashtag well done, Marcus. And Marcus Rashford responded to Man City and said, a City United and a fist bump.
Now, you want to explain Manchester City versus Manchester United?
Yeah, they fucking hate one another, City rivals. Genuinely quite nasty hatred. And yeah, they're united in Marcus Rashford being awesome and Katie Hopkins can go fuck herself. That's pretty good.
Manchester against Katie.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
of Manchester.
Amazing. I mean, it really is just beautiful. So, anyway. And so if there's any bad element to Katie Hopkins being banned from Twitter, it's that we won't get gems like that anymore. I'll take that in exchange, of course, but still. This, again, Britain's a shit country.
All right, hold on.
Children are going hungry, and Boris Johnson is...
All right, so George Eliot is a pen name of a lady writer. I think I knew that, but I forgot the pen name. It's actually Mary Ann Evans, writing under George Eliot, because women weren't really allowed to publish and have those kind of ideas. Sorry, I just wanted to clear that up because it was a conversation in the chat.
Well, and as the Bible clearly states, rightly so.
Yes, because that's the authority we use, a Bronze Age text.
Yeah. What else would you do? Use like your own brain?
Yeah. Why use
Jesus.
21st century moral sensibilities and ideas of human rights? It's only current.
Wait.
All right. I interrupted you, so please continue.
Right. So from George Eliot being a good British thing to, well, potentially, I don't know, I suppose it depends on your opinion, to a shit thing, children are going hungry in Britain, and Boris Johnson has decided to waste over £100,000 of our money, of taxpayers' money, on having an RAF plane painted for his personal use.
Oh my God!
They're painting a Union Jack on it, red, white, and blue. I know I'd rather my taxes are spent on, and it isn't yet another Johnson's vanity project.
Yeah. There's also I have another example of him wasting British taxpayer money on mine about this app that they promised by the 1st of June that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah. This Donald Trump just being a twat, the silent majority is stronger than ever. And he quote tweeted himself with...
Himself.
So true. Yeah, Donald, that's you in the first tweet. You don't have to say so. Like, we know that's what you believe because you sent the original tweet out. The fuck is wrong with you?
He's not getting enough praise, so he has to praise himself now. These are the voices in his head. These are the people that tell him things.
It's literally saying to yourself, well done on having the opinion you already have. That's awesome. Like, we know that's what you think.
He's dangerous and he's non-compos mentis in my opinion.
No, he's a stable genius, Kristi, as the Bible says, or something.
Yeah. Keep going, Franklin Graham.
Yeah. Martin Gugino, the 75-year-old protester who was pushed by two Buffalo, New York police officers earlier this month, has a fractured skull and is not able to walk, his lawyers have said in a statement. Now, that's obviously fucking awful, but I want to know, has our expert in falling been able to confirm this with his galactic knowledge?
Gotta get the falling expert
I don't
back.
know. I haven't heard from our expert in falling.
Fucking idiots.
No, but we need to get onto him because his expertise in the area of falling
Anyone else, if they weren't wearing that uniform, who pushed over a 75-year-old man would be called a thug. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was assault, is what took place there. Yeah. Now, we talked previously about the Insane Clown Posse and their gathering of the Juggalos, which was cancelled because of coronavirus, a tragic day for all.
Yes.
And as much as they are a slightly risible set of
not
weirdos,
the actual Insane Clown Posse, by the way. There's a band.
What do you mean?
There's a band called Insane Clown Posse. Clown
Posse. No, that is it.
They were
the
hosting
Insane Clown Posse. Their bands are called Juggalos.
Oh, right. I was thinking Boogaloo. Okay, right.
Oh no, not Bugaloos. No. Don't confess the Juggalos with the Bugaloos.
No,
the Juggalos are fucking mental, but they're not necessarily racist. I can't say none of them are racist, but they're not necessarily racist.
You can't co-sign
and they
that
certainly shouldn't
entirely.
be, given that the Insane Clown Posse themselves have started selling a T-shirt, Insane Clown Posse, with "Fuck your rebel flag,"
yes,
and then burning a flag.
I love it.
Fair play.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Burn that flag.
I will mock them for their slightly weird take on everything, including fucking magnets. How do they work? It's very well understood how magnets work.
Can you retweet that for me? Because I think that should go out on Juneteenth.
Yeah. So so they're selling that T-shirt. So again, I mean, it's got a Confederate flag on it, so I don't know that I'd want to wear it.
It's on fire though.
But it's a good message nonetheless. So that's fine. Anyway, whatever. It's not as good as having three Mike Pences howling at the moon. That's I'll never get that as a T-shirt design. This story is just, again, thank you to Ash, an Australian comrade, who just sent me this thing from Australia. A man fined $800 over, quote, massive intestinal wind, unquote.
What? This is a real story?
Yeah. He apparently behaved provocatively and uncooperatively before looking at officers and farting, quote, with full intent, unquote.
Can you really criminalize farting with intent? I don't think you can.
How do you prove farting with intent? What are the criteria for that?
Like, do the officers independently have to describe the smell of the fart in order to verify that they're... What if they organize their story ahead of time and they frame you for intentional farting? How do you explain that on your employment, applications? I really don't think... How do you...
Exactly. Well, surely the best legal defense against an accusation of massive intestinal wind would be, look, it couldn't have been me because he who smelt it dealt it.
Case dismissed.
Well, and you go, case dismissed. You have to pay legal fees for this man who's been clearly wronged.
Now,
is he bending over? What?
Like, I could see at least there's a health argument to be made. If you spit on somebody, like if you spit in their face and it gets in their mouth or something, you could give them a cold or something. But you really can't transmit anything by farting on someone. You're not even farting on them. He didn't pin them down and fart on them. You can transmit
some real nostril burn.
Well, yeah, but I don't think rotten eggs technically counts as a gas. Like, I don't think that's how what humans produce isn't part of the conventions on war or anything like that. I think that's ridiculous. Yeah. I would challenge that fine.
I mean, could that be considered a release of noxious gas under the Chemical War Act?
No,
I don't know.
I want to say, had this happened on American soil, I'm pretty sure most people would agree that farting is a First Amendment right. It is a freedom of expression on a couple different levels.
Well, I now want to see a farting as a First Amendment right case go before the Supreme Court. I want to see the majority opinion and the dissenting opinion on a fart.
Look, I can tell you what the legal case is. I can defend this as a First Amendment thing right now. Right? Honestly. So what? I mean, they already have case law that dance. Exotic dances.
I thought the First Amendment only counted from things that came out at the other end. No.
No. Anything that so the court has ruled, for instance, that exotic dancers are doing First Amendment freedom of expression. So expression is not limited to words or speech. It can be art, it can be music, it can be any form of human expression. And so what I would say is, Your Honors, clearly the my client here was demonstrating his opposition to the imposition of the state upon his person. And rather than doing something of harm, he expressed that frustration through expelling gas out of his anus. And therefore, it was a political act and not a criminal one.
I think we've spent longer talking about this than we did about Juneteenth, which doesn't speak well for us, I think.
Well, no, but this
honest.
is no, but it is very on brand for our show. I mean, we were serious about this. We're not taking this seriously at all, and we were taking Juneteenth seriously. So that's
absolutely.
We were being deferential.
Yeah, this is again, the far right are just garbage. Asking her, this is again just two pictures of babies. Asking her to apologise for slavery, which no one is like asking her to apologise for Pearl Harbor, which again no one is irrelevant. But I quite like this person's response. It was sarcastic enough. I think both babies should apologise.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I assume they were both American kids, right? So why does an American have to apologise for Pearl Harbor, you racist?
Well, maybe it's a Japanese kid. I don't know. I have no idea.
And also, as you say, no one's
asking...
But
the point is, no one's asking anyone... Yeah, no one's asking... Certainly not babies, but not even adults to apologise for their... What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, this is straw manning. They don't have any real arguments, so they have to make up arguments they can win, because they can't actually win against our arguments.
Yeah. Appealing to emotion by having a baby there. Like, well, yeah, obviously it's no one who doesn't even look old enough to speak, let alone apologise for slavery, you dopey bastards.
Well, this is a sort of emotive thing they go for. Oh, God. Stupid myth-informed guys. Yeah. Sorry.
The MythCon people again, just absolute scum. The term quote-unquote white privilege, although for some reason it's double there and only single there, sloppy, should be offensive to anyone that isn't bigoted. The term assumes non-whites are disadvantaged. This implies minority success requires white people's help. What? Isn't it elitist, even racist, to view minorities through this lens? What are you talking about?
What? No, they don't understand. Yeah. How does white privilege require the point is when you start off with a fundamental misunderstanding of what words means, everything else that follows is shit. And that's what this tweet is. I'd rather they'd farted.
Well, I just quite like Ina's response to this. She mockingly says of them, actually, the term white privilege is racist against minorities, and we are totally, absolutely very concerned with racism towards minorities.
Yep. Yeah. When you get a free pass in life and everyone else has to swim upstream or walk climb an incline, and you basically get to coast your whole life. Yeah, when suddenly you don't have the ease of going downhill, you actually have to walk on the level. Oh my gosh, I actually have to do... Yeah, it's not understanding what other people go through every day. That's your white privilege. You don't have to understand it because you're white.
Yeah, just Dave Rubin's got one setting, right? And it's just, quote, liberals who pride themselves on being open-minded, tolerant, and decent have been exploited by the woke. They are hardly any true liberals left. Progressives may have made liberals afraid to say anything. And then at Dave Rubin on the regressive left. Mix it up a little bit, Dave. This is ridiculous. This is the same shit you've been saying for years.
If Dave Rubin golfed, he would bring an entire golf bag, but only one club in it. And he would just hit everything with his wood. No matter what the shot or the terrain. Just bang, bang. Same point again and again. Oh, I'm getting my ball forward.
Indeed. Again, and again, just worth pointing out as the search, 57 officers quit over the fact that the two police officers who assaulted the 75-year-old were suspended. Not even fired.
No, they didn't quit. They did it. They called in
suspended.
Sick. You're right. But by the way, I thought this too, but they actually called in sick.
No. No, that's in Atlanta, isn't it? The
No,
story you're
but
talking about.
you're talking about the people who quit the board, but they didn't stop being cops. There was some sort of safety board they all resigned from.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
okay,
just on the
move on then.
But yeah, it was still it was like a mass protest of cops being dicks. Yeah. But they didn't quit. But that was,
juxtaposition for Dave Rubin here. Ah, poor regressive snowflakes. And then juxtaposed to his next tweet of "Good morning to everyone except Sesame Street and CNN." Okay, you
can take that first tweet and put it next to so many tweets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Tony, that's what happened. They quit their special operations roles, but they stayed on as cops. That was it. Thanks. But they still had a temper tantrum. They still had a mass temper tantrum.
Yeah, so there was nearly a war maybe between India and China. Just a thing that happened. Again, in normal years, that would be a big story, but this is 2020. That's nothing.
No, it doesn't even register. I didn't even hear about that.
Indeed. Steve Backer, the man charged today for shooting a protester in Albuquerque, was a big Ben Shapiro fan.
Wow.
Not good news for Ben, who has inspired other shooters in the past. Mm-hmm. And then there are examples of Stephen Backer, a big fan of Ben Shapiro. Surprising that, isn't it?
Yep, because he's a piece of shit who incites. He's, what did you call that? Not asymmetrical. Stochastic.
Stochastic terrorism,
yep.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what Ben Shapiro promotes.
Ben Shapiro is equalizing terrorists, which is interesting. Just a thing worth mentioning. Yeah, this is, again, Britain is a fucking joke. A Brexiteer MP says his French-speaking dogs should be able to keep... hang on. Oh, I'll get the full thing up. Apologies.
This isn't a joke.
No.
Oh my God.
He's French-speaking. His their pet passports, which is a thing where you allow pets to go through so that they don't have certain diseases which can spread amongst
And they're microchipped.
Which we're losing the right to do because we're leaving the EU. But apparently his dogs speak French, so they should keep it.
They can speak French to their dogs in Britain. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what you get for handing over again. It's a point worth reiterating. Policy making to garbage like this, that's how you end up like Britain.
Oh, more Tim Pool.
Tim Pool, yeah. The same people who fell for shit like Russiagate fell for Covington and Justice Smollett and will continue to fall for fake news because they have the critical thinking abilities and memory of a goldfish.
Bring it. Oh my God, that was in May. That was in May. That was in May of this year.
That was in May the 19th as well, yeah. And then, come on now, Internet. Right. Then Tim Pool, Shake Shack straight poisoned cups. This is fucking insane. No, they didn't. You're not a journalist. You're a joke.
It doesn't even say there. Oh yeah, it's just okay? Because the NYPD basically put out bad information, and he was gullible enough to think that happened. Yep. Fake news, Tim. Fake news, you gullible.
Indeed. Oh, this is amazing. Yeah, Meghan McCain famously opposes political correctness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't like that kind of censorship. She then says, Father's Day, 6 days from now. I'm a 35-year-old grown woman, and I'm dreading it like crazy. We really have to start an alternative rebranding of the day for those of us whose fathers have passed on.
Wow. Amazing what happens when you are in your privileged world and you actually see what it's like to live with suffering, isn't it, Megan?
Because I don't know if you know who her father was.
Of course I do. But you're talking to the chat, right?
You know her dad, right? Because her dad. I mean, you probably don't know, Kristi. I'll have to explain it to you. Her dad was like a political dude back in the day. And he brought his brain to a cancer and lost. And now she's annoyed that people are calling it Father's Day because she doesn't have a dad anymore, which, you know, is a thing.
Yeah, it's like you can have those thoughts in your head, but maybe don't put them on Twitter. Or if you do put them on Twitter, people are just going to drag you for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she doesn't like to mention her dad or anything. So,
hey, Megan, you don't have to put every thought out on the internet.
Yeah. Paul Joseph Watson. Well, I've done this in the wrong order. The only form of systemic racism is against white people.
He's such a white supremacist.
Yeah, and I just said, just when you think PJW couldn't be any more wrong, he pulls this gem out of the bag.
True.
But I also quite like Ted Sheres again. Go and subscribe to him. Awesome dude. Just says, "Shut up, cracker."
Pretty much. And when they say, "Oh, that's racist," you're like, "No, I'm reclaiming that word."
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Cracker.
our word. It's
Cracker.
our word. Yeah. How wrong do you think PragerU can be?
What?
They put here, the U.S. Constitution was actually designed to help end slavery.
No, it wasn't. Like, they're just straight up like.
Which I would respond, why didn't it then?
No,
why did you have to pass the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to like give black people any semblance of rights? You dopey lying bastards.
The people who were uncomfortable and were, you know, manumitionists and abolitionists decided, the white guys in there decided it's more important that we have a stable government than we have this fight about slavery. So they totally kicked the can down the road. And they put the 3/5 of a person thing in there. So, come on. Fucking Prager.
Yeah. Again, white racists not understanding things is a theme on this show in general. Western traditionalist says, and then unsurprisingly, traditional and Western, which given the name, you'd expect them to say things like that. And they give, they're fish and chips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which are, you know, traditional and Western, which is interesting given that they're anti-Semitic as fuck. Because actually, fish in fried batter is a Western Sephardic Jewish thing. Yeah.
You should know history.
Brought over to Britain by immigrants as well. So, you know, just in case anyone was wondering, not very traditional and not very, well, I suppose Western in the sense that they lived in the West, but not really not Western as in white, which is what they mean. You know? Yeah.
Oh, people.
Anyway, moving on. And thank you to Jewish people, by the way, for bringing fish and chips to Britain, because that's, yeah, I like me some battered fish. So thank you, Jews.
There you go.
Anyway,
okay.
This is just fun. Just a cute cat in a sock. Look how cute that is.
That cat
That's
is
ridiculous.
So cute. It is. It's all kind of fuzzy on it. Aww.
Yeah, but also pretty woke as well. Rioting is a valid form of protest in a system that values capital over human lives, and fuck the police. So cute and badass. So good cat. From the beautiful to the ugly as fuck. This is a person driving around with a noose.
Oh my god. Yeah, they've now found what? Seven black men hanging, apparent suicides across the United States in the last week.
Seems like a pattern. Seems like a pattern. Maybe the police should actually fucking look into
this terrorism campaign.
Anyway. Yeah.
He's still using that old ass picture of himself.
Yeah. He will be when he's like 60. He'll still be using that picture. Well, assuming he lives to 60 and that the lizard alien creatures don't get him.
Yeah. Or COVID.
Anyway. Yeah. Or COVID, yeah. So that's, again, systemic racism bullshit. And this twat, who's the Atheist Republic guy, says, the fact that so many people have been made to believe that one can't be racist against white people means that anti-white racism is now systemic.
Oh, my God. Again, if it wasn't for straw men, This guy, like, skeptic community is shit. That's all. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, it really is. This is quite fun. We can have a go if you want. To explain, someone said this. This is a gaming clickbait generator, which basically means you can click on the thing and it'll give you like the names for, say, like a YouTube video made by one of these right-wing chud twats, and some of them are amazing. The one that said, "My dad predicted the rise of the blacks," and I thought I could see that video getting made. Definitely.
Yeah. By Sargon.
Oh, it's so slow. It's so slow. Come on now. Come on, internet. You can do it. I believe in you. I shouldn't, but I do. Anyway, anti-SJW video title generator. Should we just see what we get?
Yeah. Let's see.
Why are communists so offended by the legend of Zelda? My dad explains. Good stuff. Try another one. The biggest Anita Sarkeesian fails of 2020. Again, absolutely correct. The biggest Karl Marx fails of 2020. That's not great. Very good. Kathleen Kennedy tries to take away boner culture. The fee strike back. Okay. Was Richard Dawkins the real SJW all along? The West has practically fallen to tyranny under the rule of Naughty Dog devs. Okay.
Don't know.
Anyway, so that's the thing you can visit
That
if you
is
want
funny.
to.
Can you
Man United legalised.
Oh,
Good
yes.
stuff.
Can you
Anyway.
retweet that?
Oh, the
generator,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I can
Thank
do
you.
that. Okay. This is quite a nice political bumper sticker there. It says, "Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to his photo op at the church."
Nicely done. Yep, that's good.
No.
Wow. That's an old. Sorry, I'm still enjoying that joke. It's a classic. It's tired. It's been done, but they really reinvented it in a new way. That's very topical and witty. So just hats off.
Indeed.
So, okay, indeed. I'm done enjoying it.
So, yeah, absolutely. The guy who wants me to fuck Polish men,
yes,
is back.
Okay, because he's never
and
really
this time
went away.
things have gotten very serious. He put a poll here, yes or no? Should I send at Kurt F. Logan a dick pic? Hashtag Pride Month. Hashtag rate my cock.
Well, how are you going to vote?
I haven't voted. I'm not going to.
I think you should
Kristi,
do it live on air.
sake.
I want to know what the results are. How am I going to know what the results are if you don't vote?
Okay, well, no then. I don't really want a dick pic. Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, the people have spoken, and the people are wrong. Democracy clearly doesn't work.
Show your dick. Show your dick.
No, don't. Yeah, exactly. It could go very badly wrong. Yeah, this was quite an interesting one. Do you know the viral video that went around this week of the female police officer crying because McDonald's were late with her order?
Yeah.
Yeah. Turns out she doesn't even work for the police.
Did she say she was on the department? I didn't watch the video, but did she claim to be a cop?
Well, she claims to be a cop, yeah.
Oh, what an idiot.
And apparently she's not, though. No.
Idiot.
There you go. So is that stolen valor? I don't know. This is quite a good one. If Kristi hadn't said, "Can you put Juneteenth in the title?" My title was going to be, "Is Finland really a country?" Because Donald Trump didn't know that Finland, a place he has been to, wasn't a country. He thought it might have been part of Russia.
Do you know other things he didn't know? Did you UK related things he didn't know?
Yeah, he didn't know that Britain was a nuclear power, which is interesting because I know all of the nuclear powers in the world, which you should know if you are the head of a nuclear power, really. Because if they come in and they say, "Oh, such and such a place is at war," the fact that they've got nuclear weapons or not changes the dynamic rather significantly. So you should know that. But again, that's in keeping with his not knowing anything about nuclear, because it had to be explained to him what the nuclear triad was, which again is really simple shit. It had to. He was told 3 fucking times why he couldn't just nuke ISIS. He had to explain to him why he couldn't nuke a fucking tornado.
Hurricane.
So, I mean, hurricane, apologies. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, some sort of natural event which, doesn't really respond at all to nuclear fucking bombs, you stupid bastard. So he doesn't know a lot of things.
No.
Doesn't know a lot of things.
He's knowing fewer.
Anyway, this is quite fun. Donald Trump, in his usually measured way, writes, "Wacko John Bolton." I love the fact that the guy that you hired, you're now calling a wacko. Interesting. His extremely tedious book, quote from the New York Times. Again, interesting that New York Times, even though you usually say failing New York Times. Interesting, Donald.
Reading them, huh?
Anyway, apparently his exceedingly tedious book is made up of lies and fake stories. Now, as was quite rightly pointed out here, if it's all lies and fake stories, none of it can be properly classified.
Yep. You can't classify
because they're not revealing anything.
Yep. Because it's not.
Yeah, you're not revealing a state secret if it's not a real thing. So why are you opposing its release, Donald? That's very strange. Anyway, what a dope. Yeah, but if you're the guy hiring dopes, what does that make you?
There was a reporter who shouted at them, "Mr. President, why do you keep hiring all these people who turn out to be wackos and backstabbers?"
Yeah. Because when people left Barack Obama's cabinet and left, they seem to have quite fond words to say about him.
I was trying to remember anyone who's done a tell-all.
I don't remember
book.
them backing him constantly.
Yeah, or doing a tell-all book. I mean, what is the woman from The Apprentice? Starts with an O. Omarosa. Omarosa. I got there in the end. She did a tell-all book. I think his niece wants to write a tell-all book. John Bolton is writing a tell-all book. Isn't John Kelly writing a book too?
Possibly. The Mooch, Steve Scaramucci, has basically gone nuclear on him and is just despised the guy and writes what a complete cunt he is every fucking day. Like, that was your press secretary. That's the guy you hired to be your hype man. The fuck? Anyway, so this is quite funny. But again, from one idiot to a pair of idiots, Diamond and Silk, fun kind of idiot grouping that love Donald Trump. This is quite interesting. Their knowledge of history is quirky. They say, why would black people say the Republican Party is racist when the Republican Party was started by black people?
Yeah, one of the places that claims to be the home of the founding of the Republican Party is it's not Omro, Wisconsin, Ripon, Wisconsin. Ripon, Wisconsin has a building where they say the Republican Party was founded. Pretty sure it wasn't black people in rural Wisconsin starting the Republican Party. No,
and of course when they were founded, black people couldn't vote.
No, so they couldn't join political. I don't know how it worked with free black people in other parts of the country, but nobody could vote. I don't know if you could join the party if not vote. I don't quite know how all that works, but just no.
No, you're wrong, Diamond and Silk.
Yeah.
You're just wrong.
That's historically
funny,
inaccurate.
But wrong.
Yeah, and no longer work for Fox.
Yeah, and they got advocate, which is fun. Yeah, which is, again, I mean, how many people have to be sacked from Fox? There's a very typical thing going on. Anyway, Ben Burgess got blocked by Dave Rubin. Where will I find the high-level ideas?
Won't someone think of the high-level ideas?
You're just going to have to put up with the fact that your brain is now going to melt without the high-level ideas. It's a shame, but R.I.P. Boom, boom, boom. Another prick bites the dust. The statue of Cecil Rhodes, 19th century imperialist piece of shit, is going to be taken down from Oriel College in Oxford.
Nice.
Which is good. That's good. That's positive. That's part of the Rhodes Must Fall campaign, which has been a long-running sore.
At Oxford.
But is now being removed.
Good.
This is just a funny story. It shouldn't be because it involves a man getting a potentially deadly disease, but it is funny.
Oh, yeah.
Arizona sheriff who refused to enforce lockdown now has COVID-19.
That's just karma.
Karma.
Yeah.
Yeah, karma.
You just have to shake your head. I'm like, okay, this is told you. We told you so.
Yeah. This is, I think this is true and therefore a sad indictment of American politics. Hot take. Even if Bolton had testified during impeachment and said these same things, I don't think a single Republican senator would have changed their vote.
Probably not, but you know what? We would have known about them. We would have known about his conversations with the Chinese. And maybe
the whole thing stinks. Yeah, the thing doesn't make Bolton look good, though, because you were part of an administration where you knew that he was like talking to China about how great concentration camps were, and you stayed with them.
Yeah, well, we have concentration camps in the United States right now with refugees in them, so of course Trump would not do anything, and of course he's gonna. They could have known about the quid pro quo and amended the charges before it went to the Senate. So yeah, fuck John Bolton. I mean, let him and Trump fight. Let him get in a ring for all I care. Let them duke it out. I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
Their little boxer shorts and their old man stances and their boxing gloves.
Oh, true, but think of the pasty, saggy flesh on show. Oh my god!
Is it reminding you of your fantasy of you and Piers? Was it Piers?
Yeah, me and Piers Morgan. Yeah. But I mean, but again, that's slightly different because if Donald Trump and John Bolton fuck, yes, I will watch that.
Because that fight.
To see how that would even work. I don't even know if either of them can get an erection at this point. Who knows? But maybe they'll just use toys on each other. Who knows?
I'm glad you found a plan B for them in case the Viagra doesn't take. Or is contraindicated.
You've got to cover all bases, Kristo. If you're going to do weird sex stuff with two nasty old men, you've got to have all of your possibilities on display.
See, I'd much rather see them go into a boxing ring and just try to go for 10 rounds. I just want to see them at the end of that.
Well, I'd like to see them fuck and go for 10 minutes. So
okay, well, each to his own.
Actually, I don't know why I say I want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. But I'm just saying, if it did happen and that tape exists, I'm watching the shit out of it, obviously. Jesus.
You're going to make popcorn first?
No, I don't know. I'll be able to keep solids down for several days, to be honest.
Data Portal in the chat says, vacuum pumps work, Kev, always.
Oh, Jesus. What kind of community have we built here? Sick puppies.
Hashtag lime green dildo.
Lime green dildo, absolutely. Oh, Liz Warren. I bet she's getting ploughed 9 ways to Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, metaphorically, after Amy Klobuchar threw her under the bus. I don't know if you want to... Yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll get onto that story as well, Kristi, please.
Okay.
Please. Although I suppose we can mention, she wants a woman of colour to be vice president, which is a perfectly fine thing to say. But I love the fact that she had it in there, Klobuchar, that she was officially withdrawing her thing. Like, you were done.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
No. Like, this is great politician.
I'm also withdrawing my candidacy for the vice president job, and I've got just as much chance of being that as Amy Klobuchar did. So fair enough.
Well, the thing is, here's where the political genius of it comes in. I mean, you have to give a nod. So basically, Amy Klobuchar knew that people now, in certain activist circles, had associated her with that decision to not prosecute. All right, and that was going to be a stain on her going forward, and she doesn't want that. So just getting out of the race doesn't fix that. Getting out of the race and saying, not only am I getting out, I think I'm putting my, emphasis or my support behind a woman of color. And that's her way of kind of like using the opportunity to turn the corner and turn the page on that, for her to be remembered for that as well, as a way to sort of like step up for the community and representation. So, I mean, in terms of a little political jujitsu move, I thought I had to kind of tip my cap to that, because I was like, she's just going to throw Liz under the bus and just like, no, I'm getting back, like just push her aside. No, these women over here, I'll support one of them. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's take the tone down a bit, because again, the roller coaster does bob and weave. Mm-hmm. If Atlanta police don't think they can, quote, do their jobs, unquote, because of these charges brought against the officer, that officer, it lets their job is killing black people.
Yeah, and people of color too. But I mean, obviously, the black community gets the highest rate of racial bias shootings. But yeah, if you have to kill people to do your job, and racism is a major factor in who gets killed, then you shouldn't be doing that job.
Yeah. 2 stories we've recently covered are unusual statues and Chef Boyardee.
Yes, yes.
Combine the two. There's a statue of Chef Boyardee.
You brought the sweet spot together. Sweet
spots. Exactly. I've got the synthesis of 2 amazing things. The fact that Omaha, Nebraska has a statue of Chef Boyardee. Naturally.
Well, it's better than Christopher Columbus.
Well, yes, that's true.
At least
true. But is it better a soprano with hobbit feet in Lithuania? I don't know.
I guess in that way I can't speak for the Italian American community. I'll let them have that conversation. Yeah. Hobbit foot, Tony Soprano, or Chef Boyardee.
Exactly. Pick your fighter. So this Antifa, they're terrorists, terrible, terrible, terrible right-wing nonsense. And someone points out, those are Kurds, i.e. some of the most important and most successful fighters against ISIS, which the USA used for their own goals, then betrayed them and let Turkey start genociding them. Yeah. Saying they're terrorists simply because of their looks is just extremely overt racism.
Yeah, all of that. Absolutely all of that.
Yep.
100%.
This guy's annoying me now. I begin to really despise the guy. Intersectional in quotes, because the version of it that is popular appears heavily to simply be a fetishized version of neoliberal identity-only politics.
He really can't handle that, like, class is one form of intersection among a democratic, sort of like a whole bunch of other ways of being, of intersectionality that are valid to people, and that class isn't always the thing we have to talk about. It really just annoys him, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm going to get back to it in just a second, in what might appear at first to be unrelated, but know that he thinks he's a great leftist and that liberals suck, okay? Just remember that.
Can I just say, too, like, sometimes it is time to just talk about identity-only issues. Sometimes that is the issue. Yeah. And it needs its own time and space and room. And what it doesn't need is for people to go, oh, well, if you actually understand the class roots of racism, then we can really solve racism. Like, no, we're talking about people getting killed by police. We don't need to have a class discussion. We need to have a policy discussion. We need to have a racism discussion. We need to have an identity discussion. We can talk about that later, but not right now. Ugh. Yeah, like you said, annoying.
Not now, Todd.
Yes, not Todd. Go kick yourself in the balls.
Anyway. Talking of Antifa, Louisiana police officer crashes after owl flies into patrol car, starts pecking at him.
There you go. The owls have arrived. The owls have landed.
Exactly.
Now our secret army
saw the owl getting involved in the ACAB revolution? I didn't, but there we go. Welcome on board, feathery comrades.
Next to K-pop?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The K-pop stands and the owls join forces. They'll be unbeatable. Good Lord.
Orion in the chat says Alfita. Antifa, but with owls. I can't say it. Altifa?
Altifa.
Yes. Why did I stumble on that so hard? Who knows?
I don't know. Anyway. Oh, just the President of America's campaign using Nazi iconography.
Yep.
That's a thing. Just anti-Antifa, which, by the way, anti-Antifa is just F.
No, it's just fascism. Fascismus.
Well, yeah, exactly. But fascism, fat is short for fascism, isn't it? Anti-fascism.
True. Yeah. Well, people tend to say fash, not fa. Like, hey, fa. People go fash.
Fa.
But nobody goes around saying fa. Hey, you fa. They say you fash.
They should, because that's funny. Anyway, basically, yeah, he was using the same symbol that the Nazis used, the upside-down red triangle.
Yeah, because they want to dog whistle the white supremacists to increase their enthusiasm to get turnout up.
Yeah. Which, if this were a one-off mistake, you'd say it's just a red triangle, but it's a consistent pattern of behaviour.
Oh yeah, he did
Anyway,
white supremacist stuff for the
Baldrick.
last time as well. In the remember when he had the Star of David with Hillary Clinton and money all over it? Remember that?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do remember that, Kristi, yes. Yeah, he's a nasty right-wing piece of shit, isn't he? Anyway, Baldrick pipes up by saying, I love my country as much as anyone, but doesn't having the Prime Minister's airplane painted like a Union Jack make us just look a little bit shit?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes
Yeah,
you look like British
it does.
Airways. By the way, I met him, Did I tell you that?
You didn't, but that's cool.
I met
Where did
Tony
you meet him?
at the Elections Public Opinion and Parties Conference. This would have been back like in 2005, 2006, because he had a role on the NEC for the Labour Party. And we were in, I want to say, the west of England.
Yeah.
University west of England, and he lives in that area. So they invited him to come to speak about like Labour Party internal stuff. And I got a picture with him and met him and got to shake his hand. And he had a really attractive, much younger wife who was really overdressed.
Show the picture of you and Baldrick.
Yeah, it's an old one, but I do have a picture of myself in Baldrick. Yeah, I can send it to you it's on my Facebook.
Why don't you show everyone? Anyway, okay. I met him as well, actually. It's because I'm so old, he dug me up on an episode of Time Team.
Yes, and there's like, move out of the way. There's a beautiful Roman mosaic flooring underneath you we want to get to.
Yeah, I was like, you're only going to dig up part of it, you dickhead. What's the point? Anyway, that's a callback to a silly bit of I did last time. Or time before or whatever. Anyhow, where we've said before that like Donald Trump's too stupid to satirize?
Yes. Yeah, reality
is and I've compared Donald Trump in many respects. Yeah, this is another example of that, because when I first saw these two images, I thought that was photoshopped. Now, this is Boris Johnson with a thing called Tim Tams, which are an Australian delicacy, I'm led to believe, some sort of chocolate treat thing from Australia, right? Now, I thought this was Australians taking the piss.
Right, as you would.
They photoshopped him with some Tim Tams, and maybe he was holding up a piece of paper or something.
Because who would hold up a commercial product in the middle of a governmental... So you can see there are state flags behind him, right? Indeed,
yeah. He's giving a prime ministerial address, right? But it's actually true. That's actually true. He was announcing a free trade agreement between Britain and Australia, and rather than talking about like agricultural exports or
what
something worthwhile that you would expect us to talk about, I must imagine that British taxpayers' money was spent on one of Boris Johnson's helpers going to the shop and buying a packet of Tim Tams in order to use in this photo opportunity thing, and then going, look, Tim Tams. Britain's a joke.
He's going to whiff-waff about Tim Tams.
Yeah, it just, what the fuck?
Like,
I don't even know where to begin. It's a joke. This man's a fucking clown.
You think there would only be one leader that would make your brain melt because of the sheer like ridiculousness and stupidity about him being Donald Trump. But I mean, Boris is really carving his own path forward. He's really defining his own unique brand of ineptitude and idiocy.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah, he's
blazing a trail.
He's nailing this. He's him as one of the worst leaders ever. He's nailing it. Yeah. Fucking nailing it.
He's going to be the GOAT on that category.
Almost certainly, yes. I just wanted to bring you this. The dog that went for a lockdown haircut. Look how fucking majestic that creature is.
Yes. He's like, yes, finally. It's summer.
Glorious.
Yes. He looks so happy. Free.
Majestic as fuck. Anyway.
Love it.
I'll bring you that. Yeah, the Supreme Court again. This is like a win streak now. It's only 2, but a win streak is a streak nonetheless. Mm-hmm. So the Supreme Court rules that Donald Trump attempt to end DACA rules against Donald Trump in his attempt to end DACA, a win for undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children.
Yay! And they basically, the court said, look, you could do this if you did it right, but you didn't. You fucked it up. So, no. Basically, that was the decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you see Trump's response to that? What he said?
Did he say, this is terrible, and then quote tweet himself saying, I agree?
Even more menacing. He said, we need new justices. They're appointed for life.
Yeah, and you appointed 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck? Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, so the police, as was pointed out, the police are trying to extort the city of Atlanta to try and get away with murder. Basically.
Yep.
This was a story you basically mentioned here, the track and trace app to try and make sure. Huge enthusiasm, apparently, according to Matt Hancock, and it would be available by mid-May.
Yeah.
Then it would be ready by the end of May, then ready by June. The government then said it's not a priority, then said it may be ready for the winter. That was on the 17th of June. The day after, they dropped it.
Yeah, and you know what Boris has announced since? He wants to partner with Apple.
That?
He wants to partner with Apple and Google or some big companies to have them develop the app.
Yeah, a bit late though. Bit late.
Yeah, and also, can I just say, because we have the app in Germany that got released this week, and can I just tell you a little bit about our app? Because Boris Johnson, you dumb motherfucker, the German app is open source coded. So it is completely compliant with GDPR requirements, which is the General Data Protection Requirements, and it's being field tested in Germany right now. Why would you waste taxpayer money giving money to Apple when they're just going to turn around and take the free code from the Germans, change some stuff into English for you, and give you back an app that you could have done for like 1% of the price? You're run by an idiot. Your country's run by an idiot. Yeah. So the way the German app works is that you turn on your Bluetooth and the app just kind of runs in the background, but it doesn't drain your battery, and it sends out a random series of numbers. But if you're in contact with somebody else, it will pick up their numbers. So you have a log of all of these random numbers. And then there's a way where if you get tested positive for corona, you put this into the app, and then I think it traces back to the phones, and you get a message saying someone you came in contact with at this location at this time has tested positive for coronavirus.
Yeah.
And it's open source. It's free.
Yeah, it's simple.
And my friend, who is a coder... What? Oh, sorry, you finish. I've been talking for a while.
Well, no, I was just going to say, but that's conservatism all over, troubling money into rich people's hands.
Yeah. So my friend, actually, he works in IT. He develops apps, like for McDonald's and Germanwings and big companies. And we were talking about it because he follows that kind of stuff, and he looked at the code, and he said, it's a really well-written app. So... fucking Boris Johnson. Okay.
Yeah, not great. But to relieve that stress, a silly pun from Antisocial Media again, go and subscribe. They're removing the logo from Uncle Ben's. No more Mr. Rice Guy.
That's actually pretty funny.
That's pretty good. Anyway. Yeah, this is amazing. The Dean asks quite nicely, who looks more like a cardboard cutout in this pic? I can't decide.
I can't.
Neither of them look human.
I kind of go back and forth and then go, no, but.
Yeah, neither of them look three-dimensional, even though they were like, I don't. There was. Also, just noticed, is that a shadow or a pit stain?
It could be either. It could be both. Because this is it. They're both lit. Like the lighting on them is different for each of them, so it does make them both look like two-dimensional beings. Well, I'm sorry, cardboard things.
Also, look at the smile on that man's face. That is the smile of a man who's definitely going to hold Donald Trump's feet to the fire.
Maybe Donald Trump just farted.
Well, don't go to Australia. You find $800. So, yeah. This is quite a nice one. Guys, I found this on Facebook. The right wing are fucking insane. As CEO of Antifa Inc., I can confirm this is the bunker system we demand every super soldier build under their home immediately. Failure to comply will bring the rust down upon you. And it's got various bits. Exaggerated full training facility. The Soros-sponsored sex dungeon.
That's where I spend my time.
And Planned Parenthood at the bottom for some reason. I don't know why you would want Planned Parenthood all the way down there, but whatever.
Well, it's closer to the sex dungeon.
Also, gender-neutral
That was my suggestion for the architecture plan, by the way. Because that's where you'd want Planned Parenthood, is right next. Go ahead. Ooh, because a marijuana dispensary, and then you get some food, and then you like go and feel good about yourself, and then you go bang, and then you like, you go pick up condoms, and then you go back to the sex dungeon.
Yeah.
It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Indeed. Absolutely. But I like gender-neutral entrance, because like, aren't all entrances gender-neutral?
Like, and maybe if you lived in some sort of really misogynistic culture where women have to have separate entrances, I guess that's pretty radical for that, if they're upset about that.
But also, I was thinking the true gender-neutral entrance is the anus, because you don't know from one anus to the other what the gender of the person is, do you? So.
No, I'd have to say if you just gave me random anuses, I would be...
Which I often do. I'll post.
Unable to make any kind of identification or...
Now, people might say it's not just an entrance, it's an exit, but I'm not trying to see that shit. See what I did there? That is a proper anus joke. You're very welcome.
You're setting them up so you can knock them down.
Exactly. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
That's a thing. That's just a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
totally real. Totally.
This blew my mind. This guy is involved in a school in London, obviously in Britain. They said, our school has almost 100 children eligible for free school meals. The Department of Education, after a 5-week wait, has provided us with one laptop for the entire school.
What are they doing with all of the money that gets put into the education budget?
I don't know, but it's not being spent on educating children, clearly.
No.
Anyway, Britain's it's not a failed state, but it's shit. Anyway, our favourite Peter Coffin employer, Ian Miles Chong, who, again, this is why I mentioned this. Peter Coffin's such a great leftist that he's not ashamed to have taken a paycheck from Ian Miles Chong, who says, it's okay to be a fascist when the alternative is complete lawlessness and rampant violence, wouldn't you say?
What?
Yeah.
Those are the options, huh? Those are his options. Those are the ones he's giving himself. Look, I have to be a fascist because the alternative is freedom.
Yeah.
Rampant
and as
violence.
Mike points out, just rephrases it, it's okay to support constant structural violence by state against dissenters and minorities if the alternative is a protest movement.
Yes. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for putting into words my emotions that I could not formulate as well and as clearly.
Anyway, talking of, someone who capitulates to fascism to someone who stands up to it, Malala Yousafzai graduated from Oxford College with a degree in philosophy, politics, and economics. So the Taliban tried to silence her and deny her an education, and she's gone from strength to strength.
Yes.
She's amazing. And they covered her in cake. She's nice. Not the Taliban, her friends and family. Covered her in cake. So good for her. And I don't know what she's got planned for the future, but I wished, oh my God, what a person.
Yeah, she'll do well at whatever she puts her mind to.
She showed more bravery in her when she was fucking 12 or whatever than most people will in a lifetime.
Definitely Donald Trump or Boris Johnson.
Indeed. This is a very good point. You all notice how looting died down and peaceful protests continued, but the media coverage of the protests has died down. This speaks volumes to the media's part in demonising the black community.
I think when we talked mass shootings, there was a study that showed the American attention span is about 2 weeks in length. So yeah. And also the media is not covering it. The media is not putting it up there. So they've moved on. They've moved on to John Bolton. They've moved on to Trump's rally. Yeah. You still there?
This is quite nice. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you kind of, there's a bit of a lag, but then it goes, and you jump back up and it's kind of caught up. That's all right.
Okay. Well, as Culture Shots put this photo out, I thought it was beautiful. The Robert E. Lee monument, covered in graffiti as fuck, and then they projected the image of BLM, Martha Tubman, and the quote, "Slavery is the next thing to hell."
Yeah. I think all they need to do is, knock off the guy on his horse and leave the rest of it up and put that up every night. Just bring it down a little bit so the BLM is back on the main pillar and leave that. I mean, I think that's a perfect memorial.
Indeed. Yep. Katie Hopkins.
Yes, yeah.
Has now been removed from the Twitters. There she is. She's gone. Boom.
Do we know what happened precisely?
Well, she took on Marcus Rashford, as we know, and Marcus Rashford told her to fuck off. Now, when she was just taking on poor black people, no one seemed to care. But he's got like a platform and shit, and clearly Twitter will like, you're not worth it.
But usually
you're
it's based
not worth
off
it anymore.
But they don't just sort of like shut your count down. Usually they give us some sort of justification, like, oh, they violated the rules doing this. But no one's saying she had done, was it mass reported?
I have no idea what. Okay. I mean, she'll probably come up with some silly excuse about the Jews or something, I'm sure.
Yeah, but, then Twitter will have to respond and we'll see what they say.
Indeed. So Fine, who we should get on this show at some point, says, "Hey, remember when Europe banned memes?"
Oh no, it's the end.
That was the right-wing canard. Not true.
Nope.
It was never true. Literally never true, and clearly isn't true.
Still not true.
No. This was quite a good one. I'll put this thing up here, right? Which is something I found on Facebook, and I retweet. I put it out the photo on Twitter as well, and it's a funny little one. Did you know that NWA, the N with attitude, were active for 5 years from 1986 to 1991, and they released 4 platinum records. To put this into perspective, the Confederacy was only around for 4 years, from 1861 until their surrender in 1865, and they released 0 platinum records, which is very true and funny. But then someone responded, and I am such a fucking history nerd. They said, "What about Still Out of Bull Run?" which is the name of a battle, 2 battles indeed that happened. No, but I didn't. I said, I don't want to have to lay the historical smackdown on you, but the Confederates always referred to the 2 battles of Bull Run as Manassas, which is true. One is the Bull Run is the name of the creek, the little stream that runs through the area, and Manassas is the town. So, it doesn't really make much difference. But they said, but to counter, the winners write history. And I said, yeah, that's true. But if it's the Confederate dickheads releasing this song, they'd call it Manassas. And then I came up with a lyric, straight out Manassas, crazy motherfucker called Stonewall. So, which just does work, because Stonewall Jackson was a crazy, crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
Genuinely unwell in some respects. He would chew on lemons basically all day and night. Just constantly whilst he was awake. He was insane. A weird version of hypochondria where he would make up things. But then when he was on his eye, he said, "No, I'm fine." So it's just insane. Anyway, but I thought that was just a silly thing. Yes, so Juneteenth obviously was today. It still is in America. They shut down the port in Oakland.
Did they?
As part of a protest in Oakland, in California. An injury to one is an injury to all, and had a celebrity of sorts appearance by famous black rights activist and just general all-round clever fucker Angela Davis.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah. So, pretty badass. So go and support those folks.
Wait. What does that say to the what's happening? No. Scroll.
It says whenever the
No.
what?
I thought it said about sorry, on
Would you
Twitter.
want me to read?
It's sorry, I'm stunned. Under the word search Twitter, go above where Tottenham Hotspurs was again. Scroll up on that part of the screen. What's happening? Keep going.
Katie Hopkins.
Keep going. That one. Yes. Okay. Sorry, Sir Ian Holmes. Okay. Yes, I knew he had died, unfortunately, today. I thought it was Ian McClellan for a second, and my heart just went, no, not both of them. But
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
yeah, that's sad.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, they said absolutely. Old Bilbo died.
Yep.
Yeah. But yes. So, but unfortunately, a lot of black people have been murdered recently. Getting back to the
yes
topic at hand, if we're okay. And again, on Juneteenth, the some of the fine people from the great state of Kentucky went house and protested loudly like fuck outside of his house with the "Wake Up Mitch" sign, and Brianna couldn't sleep, neither should Mitch, which is not so. I endorse that kind of
There's a lot of
shenanigan.
white people by that. I mean, it's good. It's good, but I'm just kind of noticing.
Well, it's Kentucky. What do you want? Like,
well, I mean,
yeah, they're white
okay.
people.
Yeah, all right. I mean, Kentucky does have more than just white people.
It's like Wisconsin.
But it's only from one
it's
angle.
Wisconsin. There's the black players who play for the Packers, and that's it in Wisconsin.
No, you've also got Milwaukee, and you've got Madison where they have football.
I'm joking, Kristi. Calm down.
So am I.
Oh no, because the things you said were true. There are other black people in Wisconsin. Yes, I know. Anyway. Well, from my pretended crowd as actual, if you tear down George Washington monuments because he owned slaves at one point, Mecca would look like Mecca would like a word for a moment. And the Mecca statue. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware. I think he means the Muhammad, the founder of Islam. And again, we pointed this out. Please, Stephen, spend every last waking moment trying to find the statues of Muhammad.
Try that.
Either in Mecca or any other place, and do nothing else, because I'm sure you'll find them. They're really well hidden.
Yeah, make your show
like
about
almost
that.
as if they're not there, because they literally have a significant problem with pictorial versions of their revered ones. But but look for them, please. That would be amazing. Anyway, ever notice how a 16-year-old is a little political change, but a young woman when she's sexually assaulted?
Yep.
Just a generally good point, well observed, and disgusting thing nonetheless.
Yeah.
It's difficult to transition from that really serious thing to the next thing, which is funny. But the road is here.
We saw it a little bit already.
Yoda is 900 and Katie Hopkins is 45. Let that sink in.
She is not 45.
She's 45.
She's not 45, Kevin. I'm 48. And no.
Yeah, but she's fueled entirely by hatred, Kristi.
Right. It's very damaging to the skin.
It drains the life force out of a creature.
She's an awful human being. That's pretty much why she's getting
atrocious. Yeah.
Looks.
And so I'm quite put out with Katie Hopkins having been removed. I see they're still pulling down race. Nice. And then again, just Peter Coffin's such a great socialist that he won't at all apologise for having worked for Ian Armstrong and helped him out. Just randomly retweeting a video, because apparently Lauren Southern's back. I haven't seen the video, but there we go. Lauren Southern back with a worthwhile message of sanity in these insane times.
The white nationalist. Sure, Ian.
The white nationalist, Lauren Southern. Yeah, but liberals suck, Kristi.
I wonder if she's a...
Ian Armstrong probably doesn't, but liberals do.
Yeah. I wonder if it's if she wants to make more money. That's why she's coming back now. It's like, ooh, now's my time. Now's my time to make some with that white supremacist money.
Very possibly. Very possibly. It is an election year.
Yep. That's a pretty profitable year.
So we'll see. Boom.
Oh,
shit! I was going for nearly 2 hours. Fuck. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So Kristen, you can share now.
Well, I don't know how much longer we want to go. We've been going for almost an hour and 45 minutes.
Well,
we can
I don't know. Do you not want to?
Let's get a couple in. Oh no, I don't want to chat with you. All right, now I just have to figure out this whole new system of sharing, so that you can see the screen. Because you turn that off. All right, get the right tab up first.
Do I need to see the screen?
Yes. So the window stupidly is cut off, so I can't read. There we go. Present now. A Chrome tab. The bookmarks tab. Share audio and share. Okay. Now you can see. Well, you will shortly.
Yeah. There we go.
Excellent. Okay.
I am Devin Cow.
Yeah, because you know what happened with that court case? He was, Devin Nunes was trying to figure out who the person was behind the Devin Cow account. And he's been going all over court, these, court cases and trying to file, working backwards from various pieces, like trying to get Twitter to give their information. And they finally, they got nowhere. But on the day that he basically said, I'm not going to be able to figure it out who it is, a bunch of people were just typing in, I am Devin Cow, in a sort of, I am Spartacus sort of way.
Yeah, exactly. Who would have thought that Spartacus's long legacy would involve an aping of a scene that almost certainly never actually happened in his life at all, of him, but with a fake cow?
Yeah.
There you go.
Dude, just let it go. You're a U.S. congressman. You've got better things to do with your time.
All right. Look, have you not got shit to do?
Exactly.
Country's on fire.
Yeah.
Fucking do something.
Yep. All right, so we're going to watch a little otter here because they're so cute. And this one apparently, puts little pocket. It has little pockets. There it goes. Put it in its pocket. Oh, that one went in the pocket. And now
my
God. You like that?
Oh, that's amazing. Otter pockets.
Yes. This plaything. Yeah, put it right in there. There you go. Just tuck that in. I'm going to save that for later. That's for me.
That's fucking genius. I love it.
Oh yeah, this.
Oh wow. Okay.
Baby Spider-Man. Kids.
Spider baby.
Yep. Oh yeah, a bunch of racists. Tim Wise. This is from the 14th of June, which feels like so long ago now. But it's just a bunch of racist assholes. So we don't really need that. Oh yeah, this is great. This is from Casey Hunt, who's an MSNBC reporter. With this sort of look. Trump supporters burn Michigan absentee ballot applications. Kev, are you still there?
What?
Yeah. The applications.
Yeah, but what? But I don't. Hang on. They burnt their own.
Yes.
Seriously.
You
dumb bastards. Oh, fuck.
Presumably they can request some more, but yeah, the applications were burned Friday during an event called Operation Incinerator outside some arena in Michigan.
Oh, these people.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What do you call a group of Karens?
That's a special kind of
whining?
idiocy. Really.
What do you call I don't know. Yeah, I know.
I don't know. A police call?
So, black pastor in Virginia called 911 after being attacked by a white family.
A harassment of Karens.
Harassment of Karens, that's good, yes. The police arrested the pastor instead. He said he was handcuffed in front of my assaulter.
But there's no racism.
And they waved at me as I go down the road. Do you know how disturbing that is?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's really fucked up.
Yep. All right, this one, again, emotional roller coaster. Emotional roller coaster, my feed as well. From Shireen. Yes, I am a victim of a Toronto raccoon stealing my contactless order. Yes, my order of lasagna and fresh garlic bread was robbed while said the raccoon looked me dead in the eye. Yes, I'm going to take this L with the spare dignity I have left. Which I thought was pretty good. You like that?
I mean, it's not as dangerous as the monkey stealing COVID.
No.
It's on the same level. Like animals, I think we need to teach the animals a lesson. They're starting to act up now. We've got owls attacking police officers, raccoons stealing garlic bread. Oh, it's a nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Drivers with Confederate flags make their way through downtown Clemson ahead of the Saturday protest. And someone just said, all my black football recruits, please stop giving these areas your talent.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I don't know if you've got that story. The guy his name's Chubb.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Very
from
strange.
the States.
But anyway, running back, Ohio, Michigan, one of the big colleges. Anyway, the coach was in an OAN shirt, in news fucking racist shithole site.
One American News,
and he's refusing to play for them now.
Good.
Yeah. But the coach is claiming he didn't know what it was. He didn't know any of this. Yeah, bullshit. Of course not, mate. So black athletes are now finally. Well, I mean, I'm not going to criticize those that didn't stand up in the past. It's a fucking horrible situation you're in because these people have your future, your economic future, in their hands. But black athletes are now saying, no, fuck this noise, which is good.
So from the Glasgow City Council, many people have contacted us about the Black Lives Matter movement and have asked us about street names and statues. We recognize the need to confront Glasgow's history and understand many of you desire action. We hear you, Glasgow. Thanks. And then there's a whole thread on like what they're planning on doing and that they want to take time and look at stuff and like collect information and Among other things, the study will look at financial bequests made to the former town council and how they influence the modern city, statues, streets, names, and buildings, the role of the city fathers, as well as a question of reparation. So it's good to see people dealing with history from the 1850s. Just takes 2 centuries before white people will look at this stuff. This cat has a jaw.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to overreact too quickly, do you?
No, well, I think that they want to be as systematic, and I think what they're saying is we want to look at it comprehensively and do this right, and not just go here's one statue, here's 2 statues.
No, Kristi, I was joking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was reacting to when you said only takes them 2, jokingly saying, "Oh, you don't want to overreact too quickly." Like it's the fuck is that cat? What? Is that cat pretending to be a hungry hippo?
Yes. And then Luke in Philadelphia writes, "What
Jesus Christ.
What in the world kind of pig cat
I've
eats
never seen
like
a cat. Yeah, like a fucking dump truck.
It's like he's got a detached jaw.
Its face.
It's just like a digger.
Yeah. Look at that other cat. Look, that's how normal cats eat. Just nibble at 1 or 2.
Yeah. Yeah,
Normal.
not that cat. Just like shoveling it in.
Like how far its chin goes in. Yeah. Jesus.
Face, just nose in. It's just, I don't know how it
like
can
breathe.
Like
a fucking JCB digger.
Yeah, like I said, a digger. This is if you're black and you have open carry in an open carry state, you get shit. And we know that. Trump says he's got 1 million tickets now for his event tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Oh my God, yes. Okay, so this says this is from J.A. Mirage. PSA for women, I'd steer clear of this one. David Silverman is one of the reasons why. In this clip, David is talking to a man, this is actually Steve McGrath, I think that's how you say his name, who now literally has a 2-year VAWA restraining order against him and mocking the woman who had to file that restraining order. So should we watch like the downfall of just Dave Silverman I mean, this kind of shot sort of sums it up, if I'm honest. Have you seen this clip?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, he's just a wanker.
All right, and I just want to point out, like, this is the worst dye job. I'm sorry, his Dave Silverman's dye job here is so bad. Like, I just want to like rinse his hair. I have to touch him though, so that would be gross. But yeah, it looks so bad. Okay. Oh, we need sound.
But anyways,
Dave,
I
want
want to harass her right now.
Dave, we know you're old, dude. It's fine.
Yeah, just embrace it. Just go gray. It's fine. But this, I mean, this looks like shoe polish.
Like,
and then he's got this little shitty thing under here. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
This is
looks like a cold sore or something.
Yeah. And yeah, he's just okay.
Penis. I'm so offended.
David,
you didn't ask my consent.
Penis.
But you know what? You have my consent for everything.
No, but I'm saying it to her, and I didn't give her my consent.
Oh.
So if she watches this video, now I've assaulted her.
But anyways,
remember when he was on Bill O'Reilly?
Yeah. He seemed like a decent dude back in the day, but
yeah, well, then you get to know people. Yeah, so Kristi had also just kind of shared that stay away.
We've both been double bookmarking this week.
Yeah, better safe than, without. Oh yeah, the whole so true thing. Look, why just
he's done it multiple times. What a lunatic.
Yes.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Again, we know that's what you believe. You tweeted it already.
All right. And now,
at least, if I don't mind, because I do this, you can retweet yourself because you're just putting out the message again.
Yeah.
That's right. But saying so true, so you're literally giving yourself a pat on the back. Yeah. Are you 6? What the fuck is wrong with you? How
yeah, go ahead.
Deeply broken a human being do you have to be? Validation from yourself.
He's so needy. He's so thirsty for just constant validation. All right, the Trump toddling down.
He's so thirsty for his own daughter's vagina.
Okay,
is what it is.
Vagina virus. That's a callback. The vagina virus. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
I remember that well. Yeah, vagina virus.
All right, so you remember when Trump went to address West Point and he had to go down this ramp and all kinds of people were like saying stuff about him going down the ramp. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, because he's basically kind of an old man pretending not to be a sort of physically and emotionally broken old man.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there were people who were saying, you really shouldn't make fun of him if he has a disability. I'm like, okay, that's all right. But I thought you would really like this thread because it's just puns. So if you want to just read through it, I'll scroll down for you.
Yeah. I see people are really ramping up their criticism of Trump. Nice. If Trump knew the lyrics to the Star Spangled Banner, he'd have the word ramparts removed. The funniest thing about the whole ramp situation is we wouldn't have made nearly as big a deal about it if Trump didn't draw extra attention by tweeting about it. Exactly. Yeah. Like the pathetic defensiveness
and then
is what makes it funny. Like, I wouldn't mock him for being disabled. I'd mock him for being so pathetic about it that he has to be like, no, I'm the physically the most fit president ever. Like, suck a dick. What are you talking about?
And then the horse whisperer continues. That's a slippery slope, I hear.
That's a slippery slope.
Oh, someone else on there.
That I did. Oh no. It's a slippery slope. Someone already did that.
Yep. I'll make the dad jokes around here, but the
I'm
next
inclined towards her. Fair enough. It's definitely gaining momentum. Okay.
I think that's about it. So, these one-liners are so off balance. I guess someone tried again, yeah. So I just kind of thought you would enjoy that thread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I'm inclined towards that. That's good.
Yeah, that was the best, I think.
Yeah.
You want to read it out, Kevin?
Do you know what they call fascists in England? Anti-fascists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they should have said, do you know what they call fat in England? Because then it would make sense. Because I've decided that
Yeah, the
fat
fa. You
is the
decided.
word now.
Yeah, you've talked to George. You guys are going to start
Well, I am the
rebranding.
CEO of Anti-Fat, so
Yes.
I get to choose that.
By the way, if
So,
anyone really wants to go totally nerdy, I'm
oh,
doing.
the lag is fucking ridiculous tonight. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, Zoom was terrible, and Google Meet is also terrible.
Yeah.
But I mostly think it's your internet. So.
How dare you? How dare you?
This is so. As you guys might know, oh well, maybe you don't, but on my channel, I'm doing kind of a book club, but it's kind of I'm figuring it out as I go. There's a Discord for people who are reading along, and then I do a video, and we're looking at the book, The Social Construction of Reality, and it's a pretty dense book, and it might be kind of intimidating, but it's actually not that complicated if you just use plain language and real life examples. And this one was one I thought was absolutely fascinating. If we can just take a few minutes, I did this on my show, but I'm gonna do it again. About the social construction of crime.
Oh, by the way, I was just scrolling back through the. Oh, so no, go on. No, go on.
Okay. So Dave McKenna writes, something I learned while in law school is the social construction of crime. I work in a legal clinic on wage theft cases where employers have improperly paid workers by not paying below minimum wage, withholding overtime, paid sick time, etc. Most theft is wage theft, meaning the dollar value of stolen wages is greater than the value, each year, of all burglaries plus robberies, shoplifting, auto theft combined. Yet, wage theft is not a crime. If you steal $100 from your employer, you will get arrested. If you call the police because your paycheck is $100 light, the police will tell you to file a complaint with the Attorney General, and the Attorney General will settle the case for between $50 and $200. That's actually not true because attorneys general only take on big cases with thousands of dollars at stake, but they will settle big cases by typically requiring the employer to properly pay what is owed. No jail time and no criminal record. If the Attorney General doesn't want to take the case, it will give you a private right of action to sue the employer in civil court for what you are owed plus damages. It can take 6 to 18 months to win a trial and months or years to collect on the judgment if you win. In short, we address the predominant form of theft in the United States with civil court cases, not criminal ones. We have literally defined wage theft as not a crime. Theft by you, a crime. Theft by your employer, not a crime. This is what we mean when we say crime is socially constructed. Not all harms are criminalized, and not all actors committing social harms are criminalized. He goes on to write, I settled a case for $27,000 for 3 clients last year. We spent a month negotiating the non-disclosure agreement because the employer stated if all his employees sued him and settled like this, he would go bankrupt. His business model depended on wage theft. These employers go on to hold elected office. 45 famously used wage theft to improve his finances on construction projects, leaving a trail of victims in his wake. Some sued and he had to pay them. Others didn't have the resources to pursue multi-year litigation and get nothing. So, yeah, crime is socially constructed. And this is a great example. If anyone ever scoffs at the idea, ask them the scenario. If an employee steals $100 out of the till, should the police be called and they be arrested? Yes. If the employer shortchanges them by $100, should the employer be arrested and go to jail? Because they don't.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's the power of corporations is.
Well, I think when you look at it, this goes back to
it makes the fact that you have to.
Yeah, go ahead. There's a lag. Sorry.
No, go on, Kristi.
No, there's a really long lag. Go ahead. You finish your point. I interrupted you.
All right, I was just going to say the power of corporations is ridiculous, especially in America, but Britain's not that much better, I suppose. And the fact that your ability to get justice is predicated on your financial ability to do so renders the justice system not just.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but obviously, like crimes of things, like wages are people really hadn't conceived of wages as kind of similar as to property theft, but that's merely the way we socially constructed it. So, hey, this was the video we were looking for the other day.
Yes, Dave Rubin University.
Yes. Should we hear him?
Let's.
Okay.
You barely have to go to college at this point because you can go on YouTube and listen to lectures by Jordan Peterson and Christina Summers and Gad Saad and a whole bunch of other people. You'll learn. I think there's some issues with that because you need college, I think, for some of the socialization and, fun and some other, you barely have to go to college at this.
And as I pointed out, watching a Gad Saad video will totally teach you all you need to know about marine biology.
Yeah, you're never gonna. That doesn't count if you wrote University of YouTube, a 4-year degree. That's not gonna work.
No.
Another racist Karen. We've seen.
Someone I scrolled back in the chat and someone said that. What was it again? Oh fuck! I'll have to scroll back again and find it. Sorry.
What was it about?
An entitlement of Karens.
That's good. That's good. A lot of this is a sort of like, especially when women do this. Women who freak out and not freak out, but white women who become really aggressive and start hurling racist slurs and start behaving in a very agitated way. They'll go, "Oh, she's mentally ill." No, she's a racist. And this is the same thing they do when a white guy goes and murders a bunch of people. Oh, he was mentally ill. Like, no, he's a product of a white supremacist system and a patriarchal system that tells men that they are validated through violence. Like, not everything is a mental illness. Some of it is a societal illness.
Yeah, and that doesn't preclude them also being mentally ill. But most mentally ill people don't go and gun people down.
Exactly.
There's a difference.
Exactly. There was Matt Gaetz. We'll get to Matt Gaetz in the Chaz maybe. The Trump campaign. Who cares? Okay, this is Vosh being crap. We don't have time for this tonight. Oh, all right. Happy place. We're gonna watch some puffins because they make really weird noises.
Yes.
We were talking about farting with intent. I think it might come up. All right, puffins. These two in the back are just like, I don't know if they're.
The fuck? Creaky ass puffins.
Yep, pretty much. And then they just make this weird noise.
Look at the neck extension. That's quality puffining.
Yeah. So Google Meets has a bit more of a lag when the videos, but at least it's stable. Oh, here it was. Devin Nunes' attorney says he's at a dead end in his quest to reveal the identity of Devin Cow. Yes, what a loser.
It's a fake cow on the internet. Get on with your job, you prick.
Just seriously, get over it, dude. Owning the libs by promoting a poll showing Trump tied in a state he won by 27 points in 2016. Yeah, this was the White House press secretary who was like, she's trying to debunk a CNN poll showing Biden leading Trump 14 by nationally by pointing to a different poll showing them tied in Arkansas. That's so much better.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
Oh,
Arkansas.
no. I lost my place. All right.
Scroll down. Just go in reverse order.
All right. Well, now I don't even know how far down I have to go. Oh, potatoes. Potato is kind of a marker for me. Oh, that's so cute. Well, we've got a lot of cute things to get through. Oh, Graham, that's not cute. That's cute. Oh, there's a kid playing. We saw that already.
Yeah, we saw that one.
Huh. Oh, well. Oh, there are the puffins. All right,
Puffins.
We're back on track. Look for the puffins video. Devin Nunes. Oh, yeah, the polls. Oh, this dog took himself for a walk, and then he walked himself home. He's got his leash in his mouth, or his lead in his mouth and everything. Look at his little
that's genius.
Look at his little high steps coming along.
Oh, that is amazing.
Sorry. Yep, there he is. Yeah, just went around the neighborhood. He's a good dog.
Yeah.
He's a very good dog. Oh, it was the white chick setting the Wendy's on fire. I don't know what this is. We watched that kid last time, right? Yes, we saw that already.
Yeah.
This is good. Yeah. How about a fuck you to homophobic racist Tommy Lauren? Because, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
All right, more cuteness. This time, baby cuteness.
Absolutely.
This kid's got a scream on him, and he's so cute because
No,
okay.
but, well, no,
No.
this baby also needs to apologise for slavery. So.
Pretty amazing. Charlie.
He sends himself backwards.
Oh. Go on, I believe in you. Fuck yes. Oh.
I had to turn the sound down on this.
Oh, that's a cute kid.
Yes. So that was very sweet. Oh, and this
But still has to apologise for slavery.
Yeah, this guy, you about to lose your job. Fired. The 61-year-old guy from Philadelphia, who is a family court supervisor. Fired after this video surfaced of him ripping down Black Lives Matter signs.
So I can do whatever I want. Oh, you can do whatever you want. You're fucking right, I can.
All right.
The guy was a family court supervisor.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah,
but he's fired. Good.
Yeah, fired. Yeah, comic book creator reappropriates the Punisher symbol, uses it to raise funds for Black Lives Matter. Oh, that was kind of cool. Oh no, they're ruining comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop being political. I just want a story of a man fighting against a corrupt system, and I don't want the politics involved.
Yeah, dude spends all day for months on end ranting about trans people, but now he's worried about people being obsessed about something. Yeah. For JK.
Oh, Graham Linehan needs to fuck off.
Agreed.
Just fuck off.
Go away. And let's see. I'm just going to scroll up because... Oh, I thought you would like this one. I just saw someone refer to the fenced-in area around the White House as Tiananmen Square, as opposed to Tiananmen Square. Tiananmen Square.
That's quite good.
Yeah,
that works.
Oh, that was the ramp thing. Okay, this is a real tragedy. I'm not going to try to say her name because I don't want to just take away from the moment, but this was a woman who was out there doing protests and she was murdered. Yeah. So just a few moments of...
Don't matter. But right now, our lives matter. Black lives matter.
Yes.
Black trans lives matter.
Yes.
Trans lives matter.
Yes.
Because guess what? We all minorities, but right now, like, let's focus on the person who got killed. Tony McDade was a black trans man. Okay? Amen. We're not doing this. We doing this for him. We doing this for our brothers and our sisters who got shot. But we doing this for every black person. Because at the end of the day, I cannot take my fucking skin color off. I cannot mask this shit, okay? Everywhere I fucking go, I'm profiled whether I like it or not.
That ain't right.
Like, I'm looked at whether I like it or not.
That ain't right.
First of all, I want white people to realize their fucking privilege. Yes, ma'am. No one can look at you and tell anything about you unless you give them that information. Wherever the fuck I go, I'm profiled. Look at my fucking hair, look at my skin, bruh. This shit, I can't take this shit off. So guess what? I'ma die about it.
Yes.
I'ma die about my fucking skin. You cannot take my fucking blackness away from me. My blackness is not for your fucking consumption, nigga. It's not. It's not. Okay? need to listen. It's like I said, it's okay to be angry. Use wisdom. Don't move stupidly and get yourself hurt. You already seen, we all in this together. I didn't mean to like divide anybody. We all in this together. My brother who got, he got ran over. Y'all need to know who the fucking enemy is. Sometimes.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. But
Nah.
no, she was not killed
Can't
by
nobody
the police.
silence me.
Sorry, someone. Was
I just
asking in the
want-
chat. It was somebody has been arrested for it, but it wasn't like it wasn't police related. So I don't have the most recent details. We talked about roller coasters.
Well, I don't know if you saw.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, well, whilst talking about this, I don't know if you saw the footage that was released of the interview with. I'm trying to remember which of the black people had been fucking killed by police.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which one it is. Oh, I'm so sorry. But anyway, yeah, there was footage released of the person being interviewed about their time and stuff, and explaining. This was before they were obviously killed, like about a week or so before, and they were being interviewed for some local thing, and explaining how dealing with being black and trying to find the incarcerated and stuff, and it was really touching. And they were clearly like a vibrant, thoughtful, intelligent person who was murdered.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's awful.
Okay. Sorry for the roller coaster, guys. It's just the way that things show up in my feed.
Yeah.
So I just want to show this really, really beautiful relationship. And yes, the dad is British. So this is some of it. When at some point I went, oh my gosh, that looks reminds me of the look that Tim from The Office, the British one. He does a little bit of that. So.
You're getting the lyrics wrong. When you're with me. It's now I'm with you.
It goes on like this, but Google Meets is not as good streaming video. I'm hearing the audio break up a lot more on this one than I did before, so we'll have to.
Yeah, we'll go back to Zoom. We'll go back to Zoom next time.
Yeah. I thought this was good.
The Three Stooges meet help.
Yeah. Gates in his gas mask. Good. What
and
else?
Ted Cruz dressed up as something from the Monsters.
Yes, he would have been. Yeah, he is a monster. Did you see this? Shatner's response.
They do, mate. That's not bad looking.
No.
Although, to be fair, not bad looking 50 years ago.
Yeah. Yes. It's it's not. He's not trying to do a Paul Joseph Watson here.
No.
Yep, that was a black pastor who got arrested when he was the one who was assaulted. We already did, I think, the Ian Miles Chong, and I can't see it anyway because he blocked me.
That's a point of pride.
Yes, actually, it makes my life a little bit cleaner. Oh yeah, some y'all millennials can't take a joke and are totally turning into your boomer parents. Hate to see it. The paradigm shift between various generations. We talked about this last time, I think. Stuart Wilkes Hague. I don't quite. Who is this person exactly? He's a senior lecturer at Liverpool University, actually, and a trustee for the Political Studies Association. So his comment was, "This is destined to be used on a university course." This is the school vouchers thing we discussed earlier, as a case study of the nature of political power in a democracy for years, probably decades to come. So.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The polling for Biden and the most recent Fox News, in quotes, poll had him up like 10 points on Trump.
Fox News had him up 10 points.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. He's at 50% in the Fox News poll. I think Trump's at like either 40 or 38%. Yeah. Oh yeah. So more racist white people. Karens from Karen's Gone Wild. There we go. Oh, we got the Rashford campaign.
Well, you said Kevin there, so
Yes.
yeah, you're playing into the stereotype of harmfulness against my people, the Kevins.
Yes. You're offended. Yeah, and then there was Marcus Rashford's tweet. This one I just thought was really funny. Oh, look, one of my potatoes hatched.
Oh. Oh.
He's a bunny. Okay. Laura Ingram questions why the Food and Drug Administration was allowed to, quote, inject itself, unquote, into a debate over hydrochloroquine. Get that in your brain.
Well, presumably in the same way that Trump thinks you can inject light into the human body.
Yeah, but the Food and Drug Administration has no business trying to regulate drugs in the United States, Kevin.
Well, exactly. I mean, what you would really need is some sort of body whose task it is to literally make comment and recommendation on things like that.
Keep on
I don't know, you could call it like the kind of federal drug and food and drug administration, something like that.
Yeah.
Look, I'm an ideas man. I don't know the name for it, but you need that kind of organization from doing their evil.
Yes. And speaking of evil, Tucker Carlson's still a white supremacist. Oh yeah, the Daily Show has this little bit where they have these people on Fox News going on and on about, oh my god, crime, it's so, oh, the pearl clutching, and then they put it up next to them like being arrested for shit. Supporting these protesters that are breaking the law. This is Bernard Carrick. They act like animals. Yeah, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison for tax fraud and lying. It goes on like this. So it's 2 minutes and 31 seconds. We can't do all of that.
Well, we need to get investigating into this white project with all these white people, these white criminals. Jesus.
Yes, white crime. Oh yeah, Kristi says, oh my god, he has a special wooden dish rack with a heart in it, and he uses it to display cheap paper plates. So it's over here in the back. That's the whole thing here. Yeah. I mean, the guns are so... the Cure. He's such a big, tough guy. The Antifa Cure. There you go, Kevin. He's got medicine for the official CEO of Antifa. If you want to tell him where to send
all
the
I'll
paper
say
plates.
is, look, you can't... George Soros cannot be taken down by any earthly weapon.
Don't even try. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dave Rubin losing his shit over Elmo, which is...
Saying racism is wrong.
Totally not the actions of a snowflake.
Yeah. Imagine being offended at saying racism is wrong. Oh, okay. Tony wants me to retweet the Daily Show thing. Coming right up, Tony. You know we got your back. That's for you. All right. You can't see
I
the
can't
chat.
believe
Go ahead.
you're acquiescing to the demands of the peasants now. These people are chat fodder. What's going on here?
Okay,
we having to treat them like serious, like human beings now. The fuck?
All right, we are going to watch the full 56 seconds of this because this kid is just the absolute cutest, and we're turning the sound all the way up. Tell me if it's too loud, but I think it should be okay.
Do you want strawberry milk?
Yeah. Thank you, Mama. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mama.
Look, his little chubby cheeks.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
He's so
You're
polite.
Thank you.
Thank you. You got it. You got it. You got it. No, you don't got it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome. Go share with Auntie.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mama.
It's just like this kid loves to be handed things. And he just keeps saying thank you over and over and over again. And it just puts the biggest smile on my face. Oh, He's so sweet, isn't he?
That is very cute.
All right, now.
Yeah.
So
I don't. That's the thing. That's what makes me think. My solution to the problem of just eradicating all humans isn't necessarily entirely positive, and I might need to reevaluate. You know.
Well, yeah. He's adorable, absolutely. But you know what really hit me about that video? Jesus Christ, parents spend a lot of time feeding their kids. Like, I only am really responsible for feeding myself, and I'm in a relationship timing meals with another human being. But I'm not responsible for providing nutrients 24/7 for another person. And she prepares like these amazing plates for him.
Exactly. But then having to make sure that other person doesn't like fucking choke to death on said food.
Yes.
Like, no, I forget to feed myself sometimes. No, this is, oh, Jesus.
You'd be like, oh, mac and cheese. Still mac and cheese. I want some more mac and cheese. Oh, so she's a great, like...
Exactly.
Yes. Oh, a shooter. I don't know if I can deal with this right now. We've got the 75-year-old protester. We got that one. Yeah, Liberty Hangout. Who is worse, Antifa or ISIS? And Liberty Hangout fan base thinks Antifa is better or worse than ISIS. Who's following you?
That's libertarian for you there.
So-called.
Well, fascists.
Yeah.
He's a fascist. They are fascists. Yeah.
This is great. Go ahead, Kevin. You read this one out.
My 72-year-old mother just informed me she is going to her first sex party and doesn't know what to bring. After some delicate questioning, gender reveal, Mum. It's called a gender reveal. I didn't send it to you in the end, but there was a funny thing I saw on Facebook, which I was going to send to you, and it was a screenshot of a thing from like a Facebook message, and it was from like one of these accounts that's a bit rude, and it said something like "Women love a finger slipped up the arse" or something like that, right? And then there was one heart that someone had given. It had written and tagged a person's name in and said, "Mum, unlike this tweet now, for fuck's sake."
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's very good. That's very good. All right, I'm going to sort of... Oh, yeah, this is great. Republicans, Robert E. Lee and Nathan Bedford Forrest were Democrats. Okay. We repudiate them and we'll take down statues of them. Republicans, no, they're heroes.
Exactly. These were members of the Democratic Party, which you keep insisting is the same thing. So we'll take them down then. Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Oh, this is great. Okay, so the video is someone trying to rescue a squirrel. We're just going to put this on.
Yeah, put the chair.
I'm saving you! Let me save you!
Squirrels can swim.
Yeah. I mean, not forever, but they can swim.
So that's... Oh, yeah. Let me save you, and then it attacks. Well, because to be fair, I mean, if it... presuming the squirrel doesn't speak English, like that dog earlier that spoke French, but you would have the situation where if you were a human, the equivalent would be someone trying to save you by poking you with a jumbo jet.
Yes, yeah, like they're trying to put a jumbo jet underneath
you probably wouldn't react very well.
Yes. I mean, she has good intentions, but like you said, the squirrel's just like, now the squirrel's like, get me high, and just jumps on the highest thing around. Oh, that was pretty funny. Oh yeah, Matt Gates, I made the comment, it was a milkshake, just as a little reference. Did you see? You gotta... Yes, got this. Just as a little callback to the Carl.
That's terrorism.
Yes, that's terrorism.
Terrorism.
Yeah, it was Godless Iowan
Aw.
who said, "This is what Kevin's like when we do a show." But yeah,
Basically, yeah.
I don't know if that's real or a little bit. Oh yeah, Trump. He said, "Oh yeah, they came up with the AIDS vaccine." What? Did you get?
Yeah, and I love the fact that they had to, like, fucking news outlets were like, scientists confirm that an AIDS vaccine has not been found. Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, thank you
Everyone
for
knows.
confirming, but we know he's lying.
Like,
obviously.
everyone knows that. Yes, except Trump.
Yeah.
What else do I have?
Well, maybe they've got it in. Maybe they've got an AIDS vaccine in Finland, which doesn't exist but does have nuclear weapons. So.
Right. Yes. Well, they are owned by Russia, so. Yeah. So federal officials charged an Air Force sergeant in a drive-by shooting of federal officers. He took advantage of unrelated Black Lives Matter protests in the city on the same day as a cover for the killings, and he's associated with the Boogaloo movement.
But again, not the Juggalo movement.
No, very different.
It's a different thing.
And he's not Antifa either. Trump. Moron.
Yeah, exactly. The terrorists exist on one side.
Yeah. Some kids
It's not
cut.
the Antifa side.
Yeah. But this is what he was trying to get cover for. You know, like people who are protesting this kind of stuff, holding kids, teenage boys at gunpoint because they cut through a neighbor's backyard to get to a store. You really have to draw guns
Fucking hell.
on kids? Seriously? You realize how traumatizing that is to them?
Yeah, if you can't deal with guns, if you can't deal with children without having to point loaded weapons at them, you shouldn't be a police officer. You're pathetic.
Oh yeah, Joyce Allen. Looks like 2025 is going to be lit. So scientists say they can recreate living dinosaurs within the next 5 years.
Oh no! Stop. We know you've seen Jurassic Park. Please, for the love of God.
This is actually from 2015, so that shit could be like they could be hatching now. That could be the next phase. The dinosaurs are back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you also had this Wild Gertis. If you're wondering if Dave Rubin fell for the Shake Shack hoax, the answer is of course he did.
Yeah, of course he fucking did. Yeah. I would expect nothing different. It confirms his bias. So.
Proud Boys.
Well, sorry, no. It confirms the bias that he's being paid by the Koch brothers to pretend to have.
Yes. Yeah. Proud Boys are violent thugs who go around Seattle and just assault people because they're violent thugs.
Yeah.
Normally,
I'm sure Andy and Go will be calling that out in a second, assuming he's not putting together another kill list for Atomwaffen, presumably. You know.
Normally I don't put the Lincoln Project on the show, but they did do the whole. It is great to see conservatives mock Donald Trump. I have to watch. I do enjoy this, and so they did the whole "so true" of their own tweet. Yeah. The American people deserve to know the health of their president. So true. So that was good.
It is so true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yep. Boogaloo is the problem. Yep. Fort Bragg. They're going to look at changing their name. So that's good. It's named.
Good.
Oh, someone made this really.
Yeah, named after.
Go ahead.
Named after Braxton Bragg, the general.
Oh, yep. I didn't know that until recently. If Martin Luther King, Martin Luther King and Anne Frank would be the same age as Barbara Walters if they were alive today. We tend to think they lived in very different times, but they were all born in 1929.
Yeah.
So
fucked up, man.
Now that's back from 2019, so it's like, but they were still born in 1929. But yeah, the past isn't that far away.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Yeah, just gonna call out the skanky dem here. This guy made some sexually repugnant comments about a campaign staffer in a group text with her and other staffers, and people are shunning him.
Fuck that guy.
They should. Yeah, him and his hard little nipples here under his t-shirt.
Yeah, he is nipping in a rather extreme way.
Yes. I haven't seen those sort of nips since Vadim drew a smiley face on Carl's chest.
Yeah, that's true. That was one of the great nipping incidents of recent times.
I think we talked about, sorry, transitioning here. I think we talked in one of our previous shows about this powder keg of confrontation between racist, angry, armed guys and protesters. Well, we had a militia member who fired on a protester who was demanding the removal of a conquistador statue of a guy who had murdered a bunch of indigenous people. And they were defending the statue. And they shot somebody over it. So
Of course they were.
They're going to jail. He's been identified as a supporter of Donald Trump. Because of course.
I am shocked. Shocked, I say.
Yep. Oh yeah, Dave Rubin canceling Sesame Street. Time to freak out. I thought it was funny. Oh, I take it you've seen this as well. This video.
Yes, Katie Hopkins speaking at a university, and everyone, when she started speaking, they just got up and left.
Now, I taught briefly as I was covering somebody's course. So I actually went out to Brunel University and taught research methods there like a couple of years in a row. So I was very happy to see. It's a very diverse campus. It's really like it's...
And of course,
Go ahead.
well, I was just going to point out a really connection that Kev videos, the one Photoshop where I'm in a black and white photo with chains behind me, that's me photoshopped over Isambard Kingdom Brunel's face. So there you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't remember that particular image, but yes. So yeah, we'll just watch it happen.
Because you don't watch my videos, but you hate me.
It must be it. I'm just going to mute it because the sound really is choppy and it annoys me because I'm an audio perfectionist as much as I can be. Yeah, they just walked out on her. It was great.
Yeah, just up and left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And that's what Twitter did to her too. Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Steve Shives. I definitely believe her when she says she's not Antifa. The shirt and hat give it away. So, yeah, some Karen is going off. We don't need 2 minutes of Karens. I think we have enough Karens so far. Oh, yeah, this.
But how did she get detached? Yeah, how did she get detached from her entitlement?
Yeah.
Where are the rest of them?
There's a whole flock of them earlier, a whole entitlement. They're sitting in the audience, or sitting in the seats in the auditorium, I think.
Okay.
Can you believe saying this out loud and thinking it was a good idea? Senator John Kennedy, a Louisiana Republican, says an amendment to remove the names of Confederate leaders from military property, quote, picks on the South unfairly, unquote.
No. No, just no.
Hey.
I was about to say a thing that would almost certainly have gotten me banned from YouTube.
Okay, don't say that then.
No.
Yeah. Y'all rebelled, you committed treason, and you lost. You don't get rewarded for treason.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, yeah. Sherman had perfect track record by any means, and he was certainly very racist, but he had the right approach to dealing with that kind of treason. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, is that a modified version of what you're going to say before? Okay, don't answer that question.
Sort of. Sort of.
Okay. Yeah, this guy is like, oh, isn't it terrible? I went to the grocery store today, and when I was joking with the ladies behind the counter, I couldn't even see their smiles because their masks, covered up even the sides of their faces. And, I just want to make people smile. Motherfucker, don't make people sick. How about that? Like,
yeah. Plus, dude, they work in a shop, presumably for not much more than minimum wage at the very most. Their smile is fake.
Yeah.
They're doing that because it's the job. Do you honestly think they're happy to see you? The fuck? The fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, cat coming in.
Ah.
Thunk. Very, very. They're really good. at judging space. Steven Crowder. Who cares?
Rory Katz isn't. Rory Katz is an idiot.
Oh, it's a Kevin. Kevin, do you want to read the tweet from Kevin?
Yes. Has COVID-19 forced you to wear glasses and a mask at the same time? If so, you have been entitled to Nice.
I thought you'd like that one. Here is a very pudgy kitty, not doing very well on a hamster wheel. Tries to run a couple times. But
it's moving.
Yeah, it does try. It was like, okay, I'm kind of getting the hang of it. Oh, now I'm going to stop. Woo! But then in the end, that's what they end up using it for.
I wasn't good.
Yeah.
Oh, look at his little feet.
It's just another place to sleep at the end of the day.
Yeah. That's how cats see everything. Everything in the world is just potentially something to either eat or sleep on.
Yeah. Hey, good news from Iowa. Good news for voting rights. Good news for civil rights. Iowa governor to sign executive order restoring felon voting rights. So after you've served your sentence, you return to the community and you get to vote on how your tax money is spent again.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. Like, it's so strange that happens at all, because like, I get not allowing prisoners to vote. That makes sense. You have your freedoms taken from you because you've done something that's bad. Okay. But once you're released, you have to be given your fucking rights back.
But Kevin,
otherwise, how are you still not being punished forever?
Not if you're black.
Well, yeah.
You just over-police black people.
That's the point.
Yeah, that is.
We all know that's the shenanigans behind all of this. Yeah. The whole thing of voter ID and disenfranchisement of people who you are specifically targeting for mass incarceration is basically a way of taking black people's vote away from them. Mm-hmm. It's the same tactic as the old IQ tests and it's
grandfather clauses.
Far less violent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, basically trying to disenfranchise whilst technically not necessarily breaking the law.
Mm-hmm. And disproportionately affecting a community that you over-police or you under-resource or, and then you blame them. Oh, if they'd only, not resist arrest.
Can I just point out, can you just scroll back down to Marcus Rashford for a second? As good as his achievements are, the coronavirus lock-in has not done wonders for his hair. That is.
I actually thought
he's not looking sharp.
I didn't know who he was. I thought he was had just graduated. He looks so young to me. He looks like he's about 17.
Yeah, no, he's only his early 20s. He's quite a young dude, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, is he still?
He has played. Kristi, he has played in a World Cup semi-final. How dare you?
I'm just saying, by his face, he looks like he's a teenager. He's just so baby-faced. Yeah. He's definitely baby-faced. Doggy wants to come in.
Yeah, no, he's a young-looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Gotta start from the beginning.
You can't look at that little face. You gotta let that little face.
I just want to. I know these. When I see these videos.
Half dog, half kangaroo.
Yeah, I just remember living in these kinds of remote areas of Wisconsin where you'd have all this backyard and all that crazy and all the dog poo. This is all the dog poo bits right there. I recognize that too.
And just like Wisconsin, you can't see any people of color. So.
Well, yeah, you can't see any people. So, this is amazing.
Exactly.
Did you see this tweet by Jared Holt?
I have not seen this tweet by Jared Holt.
Cassandra Fairbanks. By the way, people, don't ever have Tabasco sauce and tomato juice when you're going to do a show live. It's a bad idea, but it's so tasty. Cassandra Fairbanks. So I just keep coughing now that I've had my Tabasco sauce. Raised almost 25,000.
You know what you should do though? You should, Kristi, in order to up your game, you're going to have to do the cinnamon challenge halfway through, just for the lols.
Yeah, I should. There you go. I previewed it for you. Cassandra Fairbanks raised almost $25,000 to relocate her family after she claimed she was attacked at her home by Antifa with guns and fireworks earlier this month. A right-wing watch investigation turned up almost nothing that supports her story.
As the CEO of Antifa, Jared Holt is fake news. We definitely did this. This is a thing that happened, obviously.
It's not a right-wing grift. They don't do that.
No, it's totally not a right-wing grift that the right-wing constantly keep fucking falling for. Obviously not, no. Antifa really are doing these things, attacking random people in their fucking houses for no reason.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, that's the white supremacists. The Proud Boys.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, some people call them the police, but yeah, that's...
Claire McCaskill is a portrait of terrible leadership. This is the EU, all the EU cases, compared to the US, the rolling average for a 3-day rolling average.
Well, that's on occasions like this, I'm sure the other EU countries are glad we left, because if we hadn't, that blue line would have been higher.
Yeah. It would be even lower if it weren't for Britain. You're bringing everybody up.
Yeah.
All right. I think, did you tag me into this? Oh, no. Overused.
I don't, maybe I did, but this is, Dave Rubin's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I guess.
Who doesn't understand any of the things.
No, none of them. Any of the things. I think this was, Flint. A little shout out to Flint if there's.
This is Matt Hancock, the health secretary, breaking the laws that of the rules of social distancing that he is literally trying to introduce, but doesn't realise it doesn't realise he's on TV, and when he does, rushes away.
So is he the guy standing in the middle or on the left? Oh.
The guy on the left. The guy on the left.
Who just ran away
is the health secretary, who literally is a fucking idiot. I mean, Britain's a joke.
We're gonna skip Kristi.
I was thinking about this the other day. Boris Johnson, I've always said before, we deserve better than Boris Johnson. I'm not sure we do. It sums up the pathetic parlour state of modern Britain. A shit leader, shitly leading a shit country.
Shitly. Adverb.
Shitly. That's a word. That's a word now.
Yeah, shitly.
Elected by shit people. Yeah.
Speaking of shitly, Mitch McConnell rejects calls to scrub out Confederate statues from the Capitol. I am a descendant of a Confederate veteran myself. Gee, never would have guessed that. Traitor. But actually...
Yeah, I'm surprised. It's almost, but I wonder if there are descendants of other people who were around at the time who might feel differently. I don't know.
Yep. Also, Nancy Pelosi ordered the portraits of 4 speakers who were in the Confederacy removed. She had them taken down.
Good.
Yep. Because why have traitors?
I still can't believe that fucking Stevens, the Confederacy's vice president, was just allowed to run for his previous US Senate seat. He was just allowed back in. What the fuck? I mean, the guy should have swung for his crimes, let alone be allowed back to be an elected fucking representative in the federal in the US government. What the fuck?
Sounds about white, doesn't it?
Quite.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you mentioned Uncle Ben's before. Sorry, I just ate a fake Pringles. Well,
what can you eat? Can you eat and drink any more spicy / dry foods?
Sorry.
Trying to talk.
Sorry.
Have you tried a handful of dust? Perhaps.
I do have a glass of water to
wash it
all
down with.
Yes. Do you remember in the last show I mentioned the Aunt Jemima products, the product line?
Yes.
Well, this is basically it, but now they're repackaging it, obviously as a meme with Aunt Karen.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I can't believe the same people who were like fucking, oh, you're all liberal snowflakes, blah, 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 are losing their shit at fucking Sesame Street, Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben's. The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's what you want to draw your line. That's where you're drawing your line. Those are the fights you want to have.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, one of the cops who shot Rayshard Brooks was charged with murder. I think we talked about that earlier in the show.
Well, yeah, not just that. I think that's worth mentioning. He potentially faces the death sentence.
Oh wow,
Which
yeah.
I would be enormously surprised if he got anywhere near that, because I mean, the justice system is reticent to even bring charges against police officers, but potentially he could. And they released still images of, and this is horrific, of the two officers stood on.
Yeah.
One of them stood on he'd been shot. I don't know if he was dead yet, but the either corpse or soon to be corpse of Rayshard Brooks, and the other one kicking
him,
said Bardet.
Yeah, just unreal, absolutely unreal.
I mean, the police in Atlanta. This is why I get the argument of there's some good police officers or whatever, but unfortunately, I'm sorry, there aren't anywhere near enough. If the police officers in Atlanta are going to go on strike or technically go sick or whatever because of this, I'm sorry, you're not public servants. You're a fucking detriment to the public. You people need to be dealt with.
Yeah, but the core of the issue is the way the institution inculcates and creates this and indoctrinates the next generation, and they reproduce it. So, just like firing everyone, you need to not only just hire new people, but you have to change the culture and the structure and accountability. Yeah. I'm expanding on it. I'm expanding on that.
Yeah. I'm just saying I'm not being prescriptive about what needs to be done, because I don't know. It's a very, very complicated issue. But if the hill they want to die on is being able to murder black people with impunity, again, they're not protecting the communities, but they're actively a detriment and need to be watched.
It's also, but you have to, I think also it's important to point out that it's not just the attitudes of the cops that let cops get away with this. It's an attitude of white people as well. And I had someone with Rayshard Brooks. They said he resisted arrest, or he tried to shoot them with a taser. And my reply was, he was asleep in his car. So, I mean, the cops get away with a lot because white people in America have let cops get away with a lot. And we've looked the other way, and we haven't believed black people. And we had Karens who used 911 to basically as an extension of controlling people, black people and people of color. So it's not just the police; it's the whole society, and it's the attitudes in the system. You have to change. Yeah, we need to pull it up, root and all. So, on a completely different note, this sign. Go ahead, Kev. Pause.
No mask on your face, you big disgrace. Slums all over the place. Saying, we will rock you. It doesn't say that last bit, but yeah.
I thought that was a good sign. A cheerful way to remind people to put their masks on. Oh, yeah. This is from, Heathen Casey. Just this warning. What the fuck is happening here? It's like the end of the Avengers.
Don't question. Yeah, don't question the weird drawing on the left, otherwise your lungs will explode.
Don't put your hand near the water or you'll dissolve.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, not just that, but how is it spraying out the back of their neck?
I know.
What the fuck is going on there?
Everything.
Look, you can cough up blood forwards, but backwards. What? Not just that, but what part of the jaw is still in place there? Because it doesn't seem to be attached to any other part of their body. It's there.
It would fall at this point.
Oh. Yeah, you would think so, but I mean, God knows.
Oh, yes, here you go. This is what we needed in 2020. Go ahead and read the New York Post.
Is this real?
Yes.
Oh my God. Gwyneth Paltrow plugs "Smells Like My Orgasm" candle with help from with the help from her son. What?
All right, let's
I don't even know what. I genuinely, what is this?
I don't know. Oh, I can share this tab.
What fresh hell is this? Hang on. So is this a candle that smells like this woman's pussy? Is that what she suggested?
I don't know. I haven't read the article.
Or is it just the name?
I think it's just the name.
Oh, okay.
All right. So this is from June 17th, 2020. Gwyneth Paltrow just loves the smell of her own scent. Tuesday on Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, the Goop Queen introduced the latest to her odoriferous collection of candles inspired by Paltrow's own BO.
So it is. This is
It smells like her
minge
BO.
essence.
No, do you not know the difference between body odor and like minge? When I sweat,
Hang on. Is minge not part of the body?
It's BO.
Is that detached from the human body?
It's not. It's not perspiration. It's not sweat, Kevin. Okay.
I make it sweat.
So inspired by Paltrow's own BO called "This Smells Like My Orgasm," the 10.5 ounce candle costs $75. Are you kidding me?
Fucking hell.
The blend is made with tart grapefruit, neroli, and ripe cassis berries blended with a gunpowder tea and Turkish rose absolutes for a scent that's sexy, surprising, and wildly addictive. Okay.
That's weird. That's just weird.
That's weird.
And the fact that she got her son involved in that.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't know.
slightly
I don't know
odd,
how
'cause-
old her son is, but still.
Well, yeah, but no, I'm not suggesting anything improper.
No,
is
but
being
just your
done there.
family
I'm
member.
just suggesting it's fucking weird.
Uh-huh.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so Trump wants to sue his niece to keep her from publishing her book.
Oh no, I won't do that joke.
But how crap do you have to be to make your family sign an NDA?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty bad. That's definitely the sign of like a really happy family that they have to sign NDA.
Yes. Yeah, you know it's love. You really trust each other. For some reason I'm hearing an echo of myself a little bit, but maybe it's just be the sound lagging down the line. The app not being ready. Oh, and then there's the whole Matt Gaetz thing, but let's come back to that in the next show. Because it is like after midnight, well after midnight. We have to end this. And we're only on the 18th of June for me. So yeah, we'll come back to Matt Gaetz and his secret adopted kid next time.
Yeah, well, I couldn't get more kids than you do. And Matt Gaetz got really up in arms. But Matt Gaetz not only doesn't have black kids, he doesn't have kids.
Well,
so you're getting angry about saying they care about or could potentially care more about people who don't exist than you.
Yes, that was basically it. And then I found out that he apparently has some young person living with him, but it's kind of weird, like how it all worked out. So we'll get into that in the next show. But yeah, it's 5 to 1 in the morning my time.
Ew, I've got to go to bed because I've got responsibilities.
We have been, yeah, Kevin is breaking up again badly. Yeah, we'll try Zoom again, hopefully. Maybe a Friday night has higher bandwidth usage or something. But anyway. Yeah, so...
No, I think...
Oh.
I don't know what it is, because we did the same shit yesterday, me and Vadim, and it was fine.
But it was Thursday.
And I was running OBS.
But it was Thursday.
Because,
so...
obviously you were here. So
what time did you
Well,
go
I suppose.
To? But anyway.
Go shorty, it's Thursday. We're going to party Thursday. Okay, Matt's Hummels. Thanks for listening. And all that, I was saying thank you to Matt's Hummels. I don't even know if he's listening. Probably not. Yeah, so thank you for everyone for listening and watching. Fuck you, chat, obviously. But goodbye from me and goodbye from Aunt Karen Kristi. Say goodbye, Aunt Karen Kristi.
Goodbye, Aunt Karen Kristi.
She did the bit and revealed herself as Aunt Karen.